So, goodness, we left upon we left the last session having escaped the clutches of the Shining Shadow and evaded the wrath of a green dragon with this prized artifact, the Orb of Dragonkind, which, with the support of his party, Smoke managed to procure. People went down, people were in danger. Tisha nearly got kicked off a skyport. But our heroes returned to the temple of Our Lady, Weaver of Stars, limbs intact, orb in hand. And upon placing the orb in the waiting hands of the statue of Mystra, that statue seemingly transformed into an avatar of Mystra. And she requested the gathering of the Council of Stars. What I'd like to know is Tisha will obviously be assembling the council, and we will move into that in a moment. But given everybody else's exertions, what would everybody else's actual characters be up to, given they've literally just bamfed in from that, dangerous battle at the skyport? What would your characters be doing?
Long bath.
Mm-hmm.
A drink.
Yeah.
I can't remember if anyone was sort of like very, very hurt, or did we end up? I can't remember on what level. If there's like visible hurt, I know we did, but like I mean, like somebody's just on their last feet. Tilly would do her best to help everybody, use a little bit of magic she's got left, give out some heals. I think we did that last session, actually, to be honest.
Okay, so just recuperating, resting,
pretty
recovering.
Much. Probably take a few hours, and in the afternoon she'd plan to check up on Trazum in the Witch Queen Temple, but that's sort of for later.
Yeah, we can get to that. Anything specifically or urgently any other characters would be doing?
Jackal would want to wait for a quiet moment, then go back down to the statue. Well, where the statue was, the plinth where we met midnight.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to speak privately to her if she's there, or just to the space where she would be. Ask her for a boon.
She is not there. As Mia found out, once she kind of gave Smoke the gift of perception across the plains, she then kind of disappeared from view. It may be that you're able to speak to the council or to Mr. directly after the meeting, but we'll resolve that and we can come back to that later. So we can say Jacob's like hanging around waiting for the meeting to be over, if you know.
Yes, that's fine. That works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tisha, you had this telepathic network call with the rest of the Council of Stars, and it does not take them long to assemble in a private, cloistered area that was designed for this very purpose. The last meeting happened in Castle Broadgrove, but this room where you are is like kind of much more ceremonial.
Did I find the room, or was I kind of guided to the room?
Yeah, you would be. It would be implicit knowledge that you would have, having spent time, like this is where like official mystery meetings go on. You know, it's sometimes where the KMF have had private briefings. It's a lot of times where Mia has given instruction and lectures. It's just like I say, private cloister. There's a skylight in the middle of this circular room, and there are kind of religious texts, almost like the temple library. So Tisha would feel quite at home here, having spent a lot of time in the Spire of Silver Candles. So I guess we will move to the arrival of each of the other characters into that room. They would all be guided there. So you can all decide what your characters would have been doing when they got this telepathic interruption. So we'll start with Corazel. I think that's you, John, isn't it?
Yeah. You have to remind me, when was the last time? What was the last we knew of Corazel?
She was in that first meeting of the Council of Stars. She has sidestepped the governance of Silvercrest, and she's basically turned her hands towards the protection of the city through this new means, through her prayer and dedication to Mystra. She's a diplomat and a leader. So I imagine, I don't know, she could have been doing like, community work or whatever it might have been.
Yeah, I think so. I imagine like coming up to the meeting, I kind of imagine having a bit of a nervous disposition. She's been through a lot, especially with like the battle, the war, and everything like that, and then kind of stepping down from governance, and probably has a bit of internal dialogue going on about her self-worth in a new position. But she's probably very eager to learn more about this revelation. I imagine just having this voice, this telepathic network all show up in your head about like Mystra's Council of Stars is probably very perplexing, nerve-wracking, exciting, scary all at once.
Cool. Yeah. So, maybe not commanding the same presence and deferment that she did as chairwoman. Yeah, maybe she arrives in a hurry. We'll do some group RP once everybody's arrived. Frederick would be really quick to arrive. He would rush kind of straight to Tisha. That's kind of.
Has to tell him she nearly died.
Okay, well, we can do that. We can do that RP if you want.
That's right. Later.
Okay. Yeah. He'll quickly arrive. Valzax comes from like the kitchen, so he'd actually probably be the first person there. Probably speaks to Mia and he would probably ask if there's anything that Mia would like to share with the council, kind of that Valzax could put forward on her behalf. There is going to be this cloistered session that requires just the council members, which was implicit in Mystra's message. You will get to meet with her, but there's going to be this one-on-one. So he would defer to Mia and ask really if there's anything that she wants to put forward, any objective that she thinks is most pressing. I mean, we know what the main objective of the meeting is and what Mia asked, so maybe Mia would just relay that. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Warkek. Lucas, you're playing Warkek, right?
Yeah, that's right. Would you quickly? But I'm not sure if I missed that bit. But the clear goal of the meeting. Would you mind spelling that out again? Or
well, one of the clear goals of the meeting is to discern the seventh member. That's the mystery.
That's
Yeah.
that's what it was. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Before Worker got like killed and resurrected and like Mistress chosen, which of the nature gods was he a druid of? Do you have this fleshed out? Is it important or?
Given that he's kind of turned his face towards Mistra, that is actually a good question. So we're going to roll for it.
Okay.
I'm going to say evens. They worship the Wild Mother. Odds, it was a member of the First Circle. See,
Okay, it's evens.
yeah. So a former consort of the Wild Mother.
Interesting. I think he was heavily into like rebuild effort, right? He's was so maybe he's just um putting some bricks or some things against building side and hammering it and just like dropping the hammer when the call comes in. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he probably just rush in because I mean it's it's Mistress stuff and he's into it. So
Yeah, and he's a kind of a unique character. So he's technically an Earth Genasi, but the other half of him that isn't kind of born from Earth Elemental was Dwarven. So he's like a short, Earth Genasi with lots of Dwarven familial ancestry in half caste, and he would have been heavily involved in the building of the temple as well. So he would know his way around, and he'd be a welcome sight amongst the different denizens there. Okay,
cool.
so I will. Shall we? I'll say that each of you are led in. Corazel, Valzax, Freddie, Kalain, Warkek, Tisha. You are led into this private room. Okay. I'll switch you over. Okay. So, after you all gather, we'll do a little bit of RP. You all gather in this room. Frederick says to Tisha, "Oh, Tisha, this is amazing. You set out this morning to confront a dragon and rid this town of assassins, and now you've summoned Mistra herself."
Yes, I know. It's a miracle. I didn't expect this to happen. And when I set off this morning and I said, I might die and, may hopefully see you later. Well, I nearly did die. And you weren't there. Slightly disappointed about that. Slightly.
Oh, I knew it. I'm so sorry. I after all of our talks about when and when not to use divination magic on each other, I had the spell prepped, scrying, ready to go. I just timing's never been my strong point. You know this about me, Tisha.
I do, and I'm not really disappointed. I knew I was going out into a dangerous expedition, and I didn't die, so that's great. And look what happened because of it. So this is really exciting. Slightly
Really
nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I don't know how much DM, how much interaction has Tisha had with all of these people? I know we've had that meeting, but
you've had like one meeting. Like they're all kind of relatively famous faces in Silvercrest. So, but you've all been quite busy with the like recovery effort and winter and studying. So, this is literally only the second time you've been in the same place together.
okay.
But I think now more than ever, this connection between you would be more apparent.
Okay, so I turned to Freddie and I say, it was a little weird having everybody's voices in my head when I don't know anyone. But hey, Mister wants that from us, so we're gonna work with that, right? I don't know what's gonna happen next though. A little bit scared, a little bit surprised, a little bit overwhelmed. It's fine, right? It's fine.
She wants us to work together. We're going to have to dispense with the formalities and really prove to her that we're worthy of being on the Council of Stars. And he like kind of rubs his head where the scar is, kind of with the weight of the responsibility becoming apparent to him.
He's
Dan,
not feeling that.
Yes.
can I double check something?
Mm.
Are we supposed to be able to see all the text like underneath?
Yeah.
Oh right, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
It looks like
So
spoilers. I ran away, but I didn't. Yeah, that's
it's
fine.
all right. These are the text underneath. I'll explain. They're basically the rules.
Cool. Fine.
So, I mean, come in, do a bit of an RP, like, you know, get used to like being in your character's head. Frederick and Tisha are there having a conversation. What would anybody else say to each other? I think most people would naturally defer to Corazel being former leader.
Well, this is certainly a ragtag group in here.
I could say so.
We met yesterday.
I know, but you're. I'm just trying to think how I would paint you all and what order I would put you in. It's not the normal subjects of a painting, I would say.
I look really good on canvas.
You may, others, and looks at Warkek, may not.
Orkic looks like the Night King. He's fucking buff.
He does, doesn't he, in that picture? I thought that was cool. Cool as shit.
But he's not scary at all. He's quite friendly, isn't he? So as far as I remember him. So
Yeah.
I hope this is
you can-
important. I'm
can
glad.
pet me anytime you want.
I wonder what we've been summoned for. I was in the middle of working, and I've lost my muse now. So, but she wouldn't summon us if it was not urgent.
And with that, the door seems to close by itself. And this cool breeze kind of whips up in a circular motion around you. You all feel the presence, this kind of otherworldly presence around you. You all feel like you're being watched. And a few moments pass as from the skylight, this silver light kind of breaking the afternoon clouds and intensely piercing down into the middle of this meeting chamber fills the room. And it's almost blinding. The white light is so intense. For each of you to witness the crossing of a being from beyond the divine gate into the material realm is a rare sight indeed. And you struggle to focus, and you expect the light to hurt and pierce your eyes, but after a few moments you get used to it, and this unbreakable white light becomes a source of comfort to you all, and you feel soothed. As your eyes begin to adjust, you are no longer really. After your eyes begin to adjust, you look around at each other. You realize that you now all share this experience, the six of you. And though only really Frederick and Tisha had a bond prior to this unifying experience is a gift granted to you all, not lightly. All of you recall the scars, the blessings of Mystra, the marks of the Lady of Mysteries, which identify you all. However, in this place where you are now, those scars are gone. And you are all pure in your purest form. Anyway, as you regard each other, you hear a voice from beyond the white light. My chosen, I have been called to you from beyond the divine gate through an act of heroism and dedication. Indeed, there is no greater offering one can make to me and to the weave than gifting me a magic item that crosses over so many threads of the weave, one that is connected to magic in a rare and special way. And it's that connection that has brought me here, to you, my Council of Stars. However, this is the first time you have been assembled in my presence, and you are but mere mortals. Gods and deities such as myself are forbidden from directly consorting with mere mortals, and thus you must prove that your faith is special and strong enough to maintain our connection henceforth. Else our connection be lost, and I return beyond the divine gate and remain a distant and mysterious god, as I am to most other mortals. This proof and demonstration will come in the form of 4 tests. Tests of piety, zealousness, ambition, and purity. Each of you possess these characteristics in different forms, and you must combine and work together to demonstrate that you can function as my word upon the mortal realm. Stepping out of Mistra and into the DM's voice, I will tell you now how this is going to work. There are 4 tests that you need to pass. Okay. Well, I will say there are 4 tests you need to pass: tests of piety, zealousness, ambition, and purity. Tisha, Lucy, you are the only person playing your character, and thus I did not want to keep anything from you as a player about your character. And in fact, I still feel a little bit presumptuous in giving you this. You are going to be the first person to preside over the first task. When you preside over a task, you must select 3 people. You can include yourself, but you don't have to. Those 3 people must decide how they are going to pass this test. And this is purely an RP thing. So, Tisha, you might say, okay, I choose Corazel, Valzax, and Kalain to attempt the test of piety. So those 3 characters would then have to say, okay, how am I going to appear together with my 2 colleagues, pious? How am I going to demonstrate my piety? It's basically up to those players then to make a commitment to Mistra. What are they going to embark upon to demonstrate the piety of the council? And that's purely RP. What's actually going to happen is those 3 players are going to combine their piety scores. Now, that really kind of leads me on to the fact that you each have 4 scores. Each of you have a piety, zealousness, ambition, and purity score. And really, the object of the game is for whoever is leading on the task to select the 3 people that they think have got the highest scores for that particular test. you might say, okay, I have no idea what my scores are in those for those particular traits and characteristics. Well, we're going to reveal some. Okay. Tisha, I'm going to reveal to the whole party what your scores are in each of those areas. So you're going to want to write these down. Okay.
Okay.
So everyone will know your piety, zealousness, ambition, and purity. Everybody else might want to write this down. You're going to want a pen and paper for this. Okay.
Can I just say this is awesome, Dan?
That's all right.
It's like a combination of Top Trumps and Avalon.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, Tiziana Montané, your piety score, and each of the scores, by the way, is out of 20. Your piety score is 12. Piety is like kind of like charitableness and righteousness. Like,
I just googled it because I was like, what is that? It said like religion.
Yeah. So your piety score is 12.
Okay.
Your zealousness score is 8. And yeah, feel free to Google these because that might help you think of, okay, what does that actually mean and how might my character embark upon this?
Zealousness is like the strength of your beliefs.
Yeah, exactly. Your ambition score is 14.
Oof. Okay.
And your purity score is 18. Yeah. She's, young,
So pure.
relatively innocent.
Yep.
That's a high score. Okay. So, those guys are the only attributes that are going to be shared between the party from now. Okay. You, the rest of you, will be able to find out what some of your attributes are. We'll ignore the 2 for a minute. What we're going to do, I want everybody else other than Tisha to roll me a d4. And then I'm going to whisper you what score that relates to.
Good start, Kirsty.
I just have to remember how to whisper. I don't think I have my... Oh, I do. I've got my whisper button. Here we go. So, please do not reveal this score to anyone. Ever. Okay, so Tilly's first. I don't know if this will work because you're down as Gallin on my macro.
Really?
So...
Oh, yeah, it's not going to work.
No, I'm going to message people in Discord.
Sure.
You can message whisper Tilly as well in Roll20.
Yeah, manually.
So is that /
W
W space Tilly?
Okay. I'll do it that way.
Yeah.
So Tilly, you rolled a 1.
Mm-hmm.
And you're playing Warkex. Sorry, it's going to be
Tilly,
confusing.
Warkex.
Yeah.
Lucas, you.
It's
fine.
You got that?
I do.
Okay. Don't reveal that at all, ever.
Got it.
Mir's playing Valzax. You rolled a 1 as well. Okay. John is playing Corazel. And you rolled a 4. What is it? Got that? And Jacob's playing Kalain.
Who rolled a 3.
Oh. Okay. That's actually... You've done quite well with those rolls. Hold on. Got that?
Yep.
Okay. So now everybody knows Tisha's scores, and you all know, the rest of you all know one of your individual scores, although you won't know which one. Now then, like I say, the object of the game is to pass. I'm going to say, well, as many tests as possible. Okay. The more tests you pass, the greater the eventual reward will be for you all and for Silvercrest. However, you also each have a secret objective, one that you cannot share with anybody else. However, I'm going to share, Tisha, yours is not going to be a secret.
Mm-hmm.
And it will help everybody to know what yours is. Your objective, Tisha, your personal objective in this meeting is to find out or identify or guess what at least 3 other players' secret objectives is. From judging from their behavior, hopefully you will be able to discern what 3 people's secret objective is. Okay? So I've got to do that again now.
Full gaming.
Yeah. So, Warkek, your secret objective, I'm going to message you now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then we've got Valzax. This might not make sense straight away, but bear with me.
Okay.
Okay. And then we've got Corazel. And then we've got Kalane. Okay. So, Tisha,
Mm-hmm.
your first task is going to be the task of piety. So, you know your own piety score.
Mm.
And so whether you want to be involved or not, your objective is going to be to get the highest combined piety score possible between 3 people. No one else is able to tell you what their score is, but they need to convince you to be selected. Okay. It would be very, very straightforward at the start. Each of you, you might not be sure how good your piety score is. It may be that only Tisha's the only one who knows anything about piety. Everyone else might not have got a piety score. That is unknown to you by now. So, if you want to make a skill check to find out one of your scores, you may do so. You might say, okay, I'm going to make an Arcana check. And I want an interesting kind of RP reason, what you would do to kind of call upon the weave in this meeting. If you pass that Arcana check, I will message you with your chosen ability score. However, you can only make 2 skill checks. Okay? So there's going to be no way to find out what all of your skill checks are. So you know that no one is going to be 100% reliable and know exactly what all their scores are. You're going to have to take some chances. You might be able to infer what your scores might be, because the 4 possible scores are exactly as they were for Tisha: 8, 12, 14, and 18. Everybody's got 8, 12, 14, and 18. Okay? So you know, like, if you've got an 18, that's your best possible score. If you've got an 8, it's your worst possible score. Yeah. You may, having selected 3 people, you may ask Frederick, by sacrificing one of your skill checks, you can ask Frederick what the combined score in any skill is for 3 selected players. So Frederick will tell you
Tell me or tell all of us?
Tell everybody what the combined piety score is of the 3 people assigned to the task before you kind of embark upon it. Okay? So there's kind of a few rules there, but
what happens with that combined score after that? Is there like a number we have to beat to pass the test, or?
there is, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. You just got to decide whether you're happy with that number as a combined score or not. Using that information, you may be able to discern what someone's attribute is in a given. Do you know what I mean? If you know your piety score and somebody else knows their piety score, and someone spends a skill check and they say, okay, the combined piety score for these 3 people is this, you'll be able to infer what the missing person score is, won't you? So you can either embark on a skill check to find out any score of yours that you want, or ask Frederick for the total score of 3 selected people. All right. So, Tisha, you are tasked with selecting 3 people to pass a piety test. You look around for volunteers. Are there any pious people?
Yeah, Warkick will jump out straight away. And
just before we get, have I been told this by Mistra? Is it like we've all got? How have we learnt this?
So you've learned that you've got to pass a test of piety, but basically what Mistra is requesting is for the 3 most pious members to step forward and make a commitment and make a promise.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. So Warkeck stepped forward straight away.
He would, and he would go on to say, this I feel is a test meant for me. I literally owe Mistra my life. Through her direct intervention, I'm still here, and I am as devoted to her as it can possibly be. In order to prove this, I obviously I helped build this temple, but I think Mistress influence in the area needs to spread. I would devote myself to build chapels in the surrounding villages and places around, travel and spread the word, so that everywhere on the road the travelers have a place to sit down in peace and worship Our Lady.
I would add to that. I am an artist, and there is no greater vision than that I saw in the council chambers before, when Mistra descended on us. I would paint such things, such works of art, and use them to decorate temples, alehouses, everything to spread our ladies, magic and blessing and divinity across the lands.
So you have 2 volunteers straight away.
Indeed. And then nobody else. Can I just check characters? Because clearly I paid attention to who was choosing what in the chat. Gareth, which one are you?
Elaine, the artist.
Lucas? Walker. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, cool.
And
The
then you've got
resurrected.
Valzak, and then you've got Corazel.
Which is...
Do you, if you want, shall we say, if you want to step forward and do what you guys just did awesomely, you can move your token forward into the picture, so we can just see. It'll be easy to keep track of who's put them step forward. Can you control yours there, Gareth?
Yeah.
There we go. So, Kalain and Warcack step forward. So, Lucy, you could say, okay, I believe them, and, they've stepped forward earnestly. They may or may not know their piety scores. You know yours.
Yeah.
If you're not sure, or if somebody else would like to try and discover their piety score, I can say, I could ask someone if they want to make a skill check. Like they say, you can, if you want to learn your piety score, you just got to pass a skill check. I will say, given that this is a Council of Stars, the use of magic is encouraged. So if you can cast a spell as part of your skill check, I'll give you advantage on it. So you're all spellcasters. And there may be a spell that you wish to use as part of your roll of your RP, and if you do that, I'll give you advantage on the skill check.
Warcock would like to add one small thing, which would be as he sees Kalain step forward, looks back at both Valzax and Corazel and says to Corazel, "Come on, then. You're needed right here with us."
What this city in Mistra needs isn't me. It's my people. Those that prove themselves need to walk forward into Mistra's light. I consider myself only but humble student of Mistra's teaching.
Oh, you always underestimate yourself, Corazel. It's always been the case since the CGS came in and had to bring you up to light. I feel like you should really do this one with me.
Can I... what do I want to do with this?
You want to try and find out one of your scores?
Piety, zealousness, ambition. Can I maybe trying to persuade Warkek to step forward, as I was just sort of saying, and kind of use that to reflect on what my ambition is?
Yeah, you put that very succinctly. Like, your ambition is for others to step into the light and for you to learn and watch and observe. Do you want to cast a spell to give you advantage on this persuasion check?
I would cast Friends on Warkek. I know it's kind of like you kind of know I'm casting it type of thing, so I don't know if that really works. Like,
yeah, magic is encouraged in this meeting.
I'd maybe put my hand on Warkek's shoulder as I try to convince him to believe in himself and reflect on my own ambition, and I will use Friends along with that.
Excellent. Yeah. Then you can make a persuasion check at advantage.
Right. Okay.
First roll of 2022.
Oh.
Oh.
22.
Oh, yeah!
Not bad.
There you go.
22. How fitting.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was your ambition you wanted to find out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here it is. I'm not going to tell you. Please, you can't reveal this to anyone.
Yeah.
Does that make you want to step forward and join in this test of piety or not?
No, I think that just
Bad
again,
score.
my ambition is to bring out the best in others, and seeing how enthusiastic Warkek and Cullen were, is to kind of like a nod in reverence and deferment towards them, and pass on my confidence towards them.
Mm-hmm. Just mechanically, Tisha is leading on this task, and if she leads this task towards a success, whether she includes herself or not, Tisha will nominate somebody else to lead on the next task. Okay.
Yep.
So we've got 2 definite contenders.
Yep. Just to check, GM at this stage. Are any secret objectives to pull the objectives apart, to ruin the game in any kind of Cluedo manner?
Nobody's secret objective is to
There's no sabotage here.
fail.
That's it. That's the word I was looking for.
No,
yeah.
Nobody wants to. There's no. I mean, in Avalon, there's always a bad guy who wants to sabotage, but there is no sabotage.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that people pursuing their secret objectives won't have a negative impact on the overall score, because it depends on what their score is. So there's no one actively trying to ruin it, but there might be
They
other
might by accident.
reasons for coming forward.
Okay, well, so sorry if I fuck up, guys, on this first go. Pressure. But I'm going to go with the 2 that have stepped forward.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at my own score, thinking they'd be top 3, we're going in. So 3 of us.
Yeah.
Orkik's really happy about that. Yep.
What's
Did you guys want to kind of whisper that?
I hope there's no
Choose
whispering
yourself!
going on.
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
No.
So, Cullen has made a commitment to kind of upgrade the visibility of Mistra in Silvercrest. Warkek's gone even further and has devoted himself to building chapels in the surrounding towns and cities. What would Tisha's pious commitment be?
So Tisha has only recently converted to the religion of Mistra. She started going to the temples. She got involved. I mean, this is just me thinking through my backstory, so I can think of an answer right now. She got involved in the whole rebuild, and she came over from after the blood magic stuff with her parents. They disappeared, so she's here, kind of building stuff. I think she would actually have some sort of involvement with the homeless or something like that. People that are without means, kind of approach. And will potentially try and pass the message on to these people that have no pathway or pious nature, potentially, and want to kind of recruit people into the religion from her feelings that she's found something that means something to her, and then encourage others to do that. Yes. Sounds good, right?
Yeah. So you're offering Mistress shelter to the disenfranchised and dislodged. So do you want to step forward?
Yes.
So you 3 step forward. At this point, before you commence with those, and you kind of make that binding commitment to Mistra, one of you could, if you want to, spend one of your skill checks. Again, you only get 2, so John's spent 1 already. But one of you 3 could spend one of your 2 skill checks to find out what combined score of your all 3 are. If you want to, you don't have to. You can just attempt the test. If you feel confident, you don't have to waste it.
I'll do a skill check.
Okay.
Sure.
Because I don't need it on my own, right? So I can use it for this.
I feel like Warkik's quite confident, and Cullen came in very confident as well, didn't she?
It's up to you.
Maybe we don't need to waste it.
Oh, you say, Let's go with that. We're confident here. Yeah,
I feel like it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
do it.
Each of you step forward into the white silver fire that surrounds you, this blinding white light, and you make these solemn commitments in Mistra's name. They're all about really increasing Mistra's visibility. They're not really about, kind of magic or magic items. However, they are welcome and noble gestures nonetheless. As you step forward and make these commitments, you hear this gentle voice from beyond. I'm pleased to receive these noble offerings. The council has passed the test of piety.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Cool. Good time for a break.
Tishiana. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay,
Over
it's
the-
break time.
Over the break, Tisha, you can decide who is going to be the decision maker for the test of zealousness.
Brilliant.
All right? There you go. See. Tisha, you must nominate, pass the baton to the next decision maker.
Yes, I'm gonna go with Corazel. Throwing Kirsty in.
Oh wait, no, I'm not Corazel.
No, Corazel
Oh.
is John.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, well, I've wrote Kirsty. In that case, we'll stick with Corazel then. I'm letting you off the hook here, Kirsty. I'm gonna go to John. Sorry,
He is Valzak.
fucked up.
That's cool.
All right. Stepping back, Tisha gestures towards Corazel, given her reluctance to get involved in the previous task. It is now Corazel's time to shine. You hear the voice Corazel. Corazel, who once coveted political power in the Silver City, now paints herself as a servant of the Lady of Mysteries. Prove your zealousness alongside prove your zealousness as a council. So yeah, you can select yourself or select up to 3 others. You must have 3 in total. Take the test. You know how it goes.
Okay. Is there anything I can do to determine who I think is best?
Valzax
to
is just
them
going to
to
jump
volunteer.
forward.
Yeah.
I can do it. I honestly
Of course.
tried to change my middle name to Zeal. Like, this is my thing.
I can
I'm
tell your middle name was awesome.
Yeah, that is what it is. And then I tried to get it changed to Zeal in like a moody teenage phase, or as moody as I could have got. I can do it. You want zealousness? I'm here for you. This is my deal.
I'll nod and like, of course, like.
I would like to do a skill check, Dan.
Okay. What skill check do you want to do?
I would like to cast.
Oh, sorry. Just bear with me before you say this. In order to gain advantage on the second test, you must expend a spell slot. So no cantrips this time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mhm.
I was going to cast a 3rd level anyway.
Nice.
So I would like to do a performance, demonstrate my zealotry by showing how dedicated I am, how proud I am of Mistra, and use motivational speech as my spell to bolster my performance.
Very good. So, as a bard, you like you say, celebrate your zealousness and try and prove to everybody how how you are alongside Valzax worthy of embarking on this test. What skill check do you want to make?
Performance.
Performance. Okay, you can make it at advantage. Nice. And what attribute do you wish to reveal to yourself?
Zealousness.
Oh, so you're putting yourself forward, and you might go, "Oh, actually." Okay. Bear with me. There you go. Valzax, what is your zealous commit? Oh, she just walked off. Never mind. Can you still hear Kirsty?
Not very zealous.
I'm here. Sorry.
Yeah. What? So you've put yourself forward. You've managed to convince Corazel to put you forward. But what's your zealous commitment to Mistra?
I think that I moved in. Like, I didn't just join Mia. Like, I moved into the temple because I was that committed. Like, I don't want to just work at the house. I want to live in it. I want to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be around people 24/7, hyping Mistra.
Okay, so you're going to just continue to hype Mistra and look after everybody who's at the temple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So is he gonna be sort of like a high priest, sort of that kind of position? You think, Kirsty?
Balzac. I think maybe he'd like to be one day. I don't think he feels particularly ready to be, but that's kind of what he would work towards.
It's interesting.
Okay. Kalain, do you still wish to, after hyping yourself up with your motivational speech, do you still wish to stay involved?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, you can put your token forward. Okay. Who else wishes to put themselves forward? Either Tisha or Walker.
Or Freddie.
Don't look at me.
No, Freddie can't. Freddie is the person who is like chairing the meeting, i.e., he's the one that you can ask for insight into, the scores, but he can't join in himself.
He doesn't have anything. Okay.
Don't look at me, Corazol. I'm going to sit this one out. There's enough zeal to go around this time. I feel like it might be too much even for a lady.
Well, I don't feel like I can step forward either. And we can't have Frederick, though.
You all know that Tish is very tired. She, nearly died, so she wouldn't go forward at this stage.
Well, we all know that's your lowest stat, isn't it?
Exactly.
So we have our first dilemma.
Can I?
Even without John, even without knowing yours, you're risking nothing by putting yourself forward, because the very least you're gonna be 8 as well. You will, so you can only go up from that without even risking anything else.
I guess, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to try my own then, I guess.
You're going to step forward and join?
I guess, yeah, I don't really need to find out try and find out what the score is. I'm going to have to step forward.
Okay. of Valzax, Kalane, and Corazel, then, who've stepped forward to attempt the test of zealousness. Sorry, what would your zealous commitment be, Corazel, if you are going to step forward?
That's the thing. I don't feel like I have. Belief is in others and other people. So I feel like zealousness would be not the.
Well, it's just zealousness. It doesn't have to be religious, right? It's just basically to be
Action and
eager,
commitment.
It's commitment.
eager to do something. You could be committed to putting others forward. You know,
Yeah, yeah, I guess.
you could create a school of some kind, maybe. Sorry, I don't want to give you ideas.
Zealousness. Yeah, I suppose I just don't figure her as a zealous person, really. I think she's like sort of recoiled from all of that stuff after like the traumas of trying to guide everyone through the Battle of Silvercrest. I can't imagine. I imagine she'd be knocked to not like believe in herself in that in that kind of area.
I will say that try not to game it. It is still possible to pass a task even though someone with an 8 is included. Let's say, you know, if 2 people with 18s were included and someone else with an 8, you could still pass.
Yeah.
That's just an example.
I guess her devotion to the people of Silvercrest, really. She wants to sort of redeem herself. And sort of make that commitment to do what she can for the people of Silvercrest.
Okay. So that may be resuming some representational duties, maybe representing the people of Silvercrest directly to her brother. You know?
Mm.
Okay. Are you joining in?
Yeah.
Okay.
We could still find out, right? The total score.
Yeah, if one of you 3 wishes to expend a skill check, you can ask Frederick, and he will tell you how it's looking.
I'll do it.
You gonna do it?
Yep.
Valzax turns towards Frederick for a nod of approval. And Frederick nods. Your
I'm feeling
score.
good.
Your score for this is 44. He nods approvingly.
Corazel, come on, you stay. We got this. You can do
I
it.
think you got more zeal than you give yourself credit for, lads.
Okay.
I think just being in my presence like ups yours. It's infectious.
Perhaps.
Okay. As you step forward and confirm with each other your zealousness and commitment to Mistra and Mistra's followers and the people of Silvercrest and your own awesomeness, you look skyward and close your eyes. Most zealous offerings indeed. Congratulations. You have passed the second test.
Yes.
So yeah, that's 2 for 2. Corazel, it is up to you to nominate the next leader.
Let's go with Valzax. Showing all that enthusiasm.
Fine.
So Valzac stays where he is in the middle of the circle. Balzacs, you are to embark on a test of ambition. How far will you extend my reach? And what lengths are you willing to go? Beginning with the weave.
Sorry, that was Sailor.
It's all right. So yeah, it's up to you who you're going to select. Like I say, you don't have to be one of the three, but you're the one who makes the final choice.
Okay. I'd like to expend another skill check to find out my own ambition.
Ambition. Okay.
Yeah.
What skill check do you want to do?
What I'd like to do, I don't know if I completely understand how this works, but I'd like to cast a wall of water, which is a 3rd level spell, in like a ring surrounding, so where you can see if this is kind of representative on screen, like basically surrounding us as I try to persuade Mistra that I am a correct addition to her chosen.
Okay. Persuasion.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you proficient in persuasion?
No.
All right. You can still, though, having expended a spell slot, make a skill check at advantage persuasion check. Okay. It's not bad. Bear with me. You wanted to find out your ambition.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. He'll like turn round, hands on hips, and look at everybody like, who's feeling ambitious?
Corazel will step forward
Yeah.
and
Of course.
say that we will change the course of history of Silvercrest through Mistra's teaching.
Well, you certainly can't do that without powerful people in your corner. I am an artist. Ambition is our way. Without ambition, you can't be an artist.
That's true. It's a tough life.
And the most ambitious one, I would say, of you all here.
Oh, careful.
And humble and humble. Don't forget.
Yeah.
There's no room for humbleness when you're an artist. If you're humble, you starve.
Humility.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Feels like between you, Carzel, and Colleen, Balzacs, you got this covered.
You don't think you're ambitious, Warkek?
Me in front of everybody like that? Nah, I'm the one in the background. I'm the one that makes things happen. I don't do it for personal glory.
Yeah, I see that. Tisha?
I think I'm partially. I think I'm more on the positive side of ambition than not. And Tisha has ambition to, follow Mistra's calling in the sense of like she's new to it, but she's dedicated. She's got ambition. She wants to see it through. So yeah, you can already see a score.
True. She's 14, isn't she?
You know what, dudes? I'm gonna let you three go for it. I believe in you.
Okay, so Corazel, Kalain, and Tisha. Hold on.
Yeah,
Looks like it.
you got this.
Yes, we do.
Confidence.
Well, I think probably these are the most. Yeah, that should be easily the most ambitious people.
You step forward as Valzax, with an uncharacteristic showing of humility, pushes Corazel, Kalain, and Tisha to prove their ambition. What, as a group, what you've all said how ambitious you all are, but you haven't really made a pledge to Mistra. What, as a three, do you think you could accomplish in the name of ambition and Mistra's faith?
Could others have like suggestions for this, or it's just
No,
Him,
just
to hear Mistra's name spoke across the isles. That's in
that's
elven
an
cities,
ambition,
dwarven
but how will
cities,
you engineer that? How will you help that ambition be realized?
by making the temple here the greatest it has ever been, so that people flock from all over the isles to hear tales of its wonder and glory.
Tisha agrees with this because it's a combined effort, right? And, she's out there, helping the homeless, bringing them into the temple. So the temple in Silvercrest is going to be the best ever Mistra temple going. Yeah. That's her ambition right there.
And Corazel?
Through politics and contacts and a high profile position, to enact the education and communication to reach all peoples, whether poor or rich, all across Silvercrest, all across the Cerulean Isles, to have Mistra's teachings made available to them.
Okay. Going to invest in a local education authority.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody wish to do anything else? Skill checks or Frederick asking? Remember, you've only got two. You can choose. Has anyone expended both? I think Valzax, you've done both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're going to participate in the test.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Okay. Corazel, Kalain, and Tisha step forward with grand plans to hear Mistra's name on the tongues of every race in every settlement across the Isles through education, telling tales and, the spread of goodwill. They want to see the faith of the Lady of Mysteries adopted by everyone on the Isles. And as you step forward into the white mystical fire, you believe that this was a more difficult test to pass. However, you've definitely chosen some appropriate tools for this task, and you feel that you have Mistress support. Valzax, as the leader of this task, you hear in your mind, I did not expect, Valzax, you to defer to the skills and expertise of others, given your confidence. However, your wisdom, perhaps I underestimated your wisdom. You have definitely enabled the council to show their strongest ambitions. And you pass the test.
Woohoo!
Whoop whoop.
You have to now nominate somebody else to do the final test of purity, to lead on the final test of purity.
He's gonna clap. Well, I guess like bend down and clap Warkek on the shoulder. You can do this. Be awesome.
Okay. I will try. And I think I'm gonna start with a skill check of my own.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll step in the middle, and let's try and find out how pure this dude is. I think he's gonna try and use the his druid ability.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
This spell, if you've sorry for this one. Sorry, now we've gone up to a high level. In order to gain advantage on your skill check, you have to consume a spell slot of your highest possible level.
Right. So using a wild shape wouldn't work.
No.
Okay. Because I mean, it could be cool because he's got this thing called starry form. I feel like it would.
I'm not saying you can't also
Right. So
take the
what is?
starry form.
Okay. Let's. I think let's do that.
You just
And,
won't. It's for flavor, so.
okay. Stone shape. Yeah. Let's cast stone shape on level 4, and he's gonna create the sort of stone is his domain, right? He's and stone is the purest form of material that you can get, right? If you can think of it in that way, which he's going to try and present it in such a way. So he'll use stone shape to form sort of an outline of the city around him, if I can do that.
Yeah.
Just sort of like a on the floor, little buildings, little areas, the walls, everything's basically stone shaped around him, and in the middle, that shining temple that watches over everything, and everything is clean, and he's gonna try and I think, I don't know, religion maybe, or insight.
Up to you.
I think he tried to look inside himself, because how do you judge your own purity, right? How do you find that? You have to look
Yeah.
inside of yourself and
Awesome.
ask yourselves the question. So I think I'm gonna try with the inside.
You make an insight check at advantage. Oh, nice. So you're after your own
That is
purity.
Tilly.
I will
Oh
tell you.
shit.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's not. Yeah, we need to do Warcrack.
his is +7, so that would be 27. Still a crit,
Okay.
unless you want me to roll again.
No, that's all right.
Okay. Um, so it's like he's looking around at everybody and says, "Well, I think I spent most of my head on being pious in this place. This is not a task for me. What do you all got?" He's looking at you all. Tisha.
Yes. So
Love
Tisha is a very hey.
Jump in.
Okay, yeah. She's a very as you all know, you don't know your new characters. She's been through a lot, and she had something that you could determine that wasn't innocent, but she didn't know anything about it really. In terms of blood magic, so. In terms of like innocence and purity for Mistra, she's definitely very strong in the following, in terms of she's not been tainted by any other religion that has been a choice of hers. So she's very much going to follow the Mistra kind of guidings as in a pure, wholesome, untainted kind of way.
Yeah. Tisha is definitely the chosen, so I'm definitely not, which leaves 3 people that we have to select 2 out of. So we have to knock one person off. Does anyone feel like they could do some skill check?
Um,
Well, Corazel would say that while she's ambitious and has a reputation, I am not without sin nor regret. And she looks kind of regretfully down at her feet.
artists are not the most pure of people either. There are quite a few skeletons in my own cupboard.
Literally.
Okay. Well, this is the time to spend all the checks, isn't it? So, guys, have anything left?
Yes, I do. What have I got left?
If we do the
I
skill
assume.
check to test the total of 3 people's scores, does it have to be the 3 people that are definitely confirmed they are trying it? Or can we just do that anytime?
I will give you. You can have 2 checks, so you can pick 3, have a check, and do it once more. But I won't permit more than twice.
Okay. So
But could it be like, let's say Workx not going to participate in the 3, so could I spend mine to find out the total?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we can do that. Um, jo- John, do you? I assume you know your score already. So
I do know my score, but I
so
can't.
which you yeah, of course, yeah, but you expressed it's not great. Does Valzax used his checks, right?
Yeah.
That's your
Mhm.
spent.
Yeah. He'd probably like step kind of closer and be like, I don't know, feel pretty pure. How do you know? You know?
Well,
I
you know,
I
you
I
know.
I'd give it a good shot.
I think I might have been more pure before I died. Now it's just like gravel and other stuff got in. I think it's not.
Maybe you
not
came back like super pure.
yeah.
Reborn.
Have you sinned since you came back?
Let's have this conversation some other time. With lots of beer.
That sounds like
That's
a
not
very
pure.
fine idea. The best one you've had all evening.
Yeah, I think yeah, I had too much to drink. That's probably why. Okay, so Gareth, do you have one skill check in you left or not?
Skill check within me, yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how to do the best way to do it. Um,
Because I think Valzax would go forward, and then it would be between you and Corazel to see which one.
um, okay. Could I attempt a skill check, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I want to use history to look
Okay.
through my own past. I would like to. I've got the spell Distort Value. I would like to use it, knowing how it works and knowing how I use it to make things appear more valuable. I would like to use it to strip away that which I have buffed up in my own mind.
So you're going to use magic to lessen the value of your own past and
So to
kind of.
strip away what I've bigged up in my own mind and in my own
To
memories.
truly determine how pure you
Yeah,
are.
Oh, I
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Uh,
sure. Expend the slot. Just using distort value on your own self worth. I'm definitely sure that the spell's never been used in that way before. I love it.
I like it.
So yeah, you can expend the slot and yeah, make a history check at advantage.
Only a 15.
It is not quite good enough to
Okay.
discern. Your past in your mind, visions go back, and you see Waterdeep, you see Lord Daggult Neverember, And although you try and distort the value of your previous station and your previous relationship, the bitterness and anger lingers in your heart, and you are unable to discern your own purity.
Okay. I think
I am
out of
sorry I failed, but I still do not think I am the best choice for this.
I think that might be right. Corazel, you're up.
I-
Let's see what we got.
I cannot claim such a virtue. Surely, between you Warkek, and Valzax, with everything that you've been through and how you've proven your worth in the eyes of Mistra, surely you're both pure of heart.
Mm. My strength lies elsewhere. This is, I feel, a hindrance. All right.
God, Sorry, just going to say the secret objective of mine is a killer. Just going to throw that out right now.
Well, everybody knows what it is and could have been doing their best to help you discern what it is.
I tried,
Mm.
Dan. I tried.
Yeah. No, it's all right.
I tried a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
What does that mean?
well, that's all I can say. Okay, Kalain, go in. Let's let's Frederick do a bit of a count on your collective purity.
If you are sure,
Let's do it.
then I would be honored to be chosen for all 4 tests.
Maybe you're more pure than you give yourself credit for.
Okay.
Yeah, I am important after all.
I'm gonna spend my second one to
Discern the total score of Tisha, Valzax, and Kalain.
That's right.
And it's the purity, right?
Tis
Valzax. Um, okay, bear with me. The total score. You Warcake, you look towards Frederick, who seems to be in tune and channeling Mistra's will. He looks uncertain, not negative and not positive. I'll tell you that the overall score is 40.
exactly 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's stick with that.
You're the one in charge, right?
Yeah, I am.
You're gonna have Tisha, Kalain, and Valzax take the purity test.
Yeah, I know my own score. I have Corazel discouraged me from picking her in the strongest possible way,
Mm-hmm.
and which brings me to only one conclusion, that she's not gonna help.
Okay.
Which just leaves the 3. So the 3 best we've got is 40. Sounds like a decent score. Let's do it.
Upon the resumption of the final test, Valzax, Kalain, and Tisha step forward. They join hands. What is your commitment as a trio to the purity that Mistra requires?
To seek out corruption.
There's so many jokes for this one.
Valzac has to go in a celibate. Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Seek out corruption in all its forms and purify them in the name of Our Lady Mistra, especially in Silvercrest, but in all of the lands we visit.
Okay, so that would be some kind of raid on
Crusade?
crime and corruption. Yeah, all right.
Fuck.
Crusade.
Jesus.
And also
Christ.
places of darkness, places of evil magics, places, yeah, not just crime and corruption, but evil
Maybe-
gods, that sort of places.
Maybe it could be something about purity of magic. Guys, what do you think?
Well, that would. Oh, no. Different character.
Can I go? Valzak would say, well, I saw, maybe heard about the darkness that was here in this temple after the passing of Galen, and it doesn't feel right. And although I stay here because I like to be here 24/7, I'd also like to work towards ridding this place of anything that's toxic and isn't purely dedicated towards Mistra, a protector.
Sorry. Now
Does that make sense?
yeah. Kind of evokes that mere scrubbing away the uncleanness. Now, there's something not clear relating to your objective, so I'm going to give you a chance to clarify. I'm going to let you make, because you sacrificed one of your skill checks to find out what the score was. I'm going to give you a bonus skill check.
Ooh.
Whatever you want to make. Obviously, passing it would enhance the group's chances of just tipping the scales, given that Frederick was unsure.
Okay. And what's the rules on casting a spell? Does it have to be at the highest slot
Highest
level I have
possible
now?
level, yeah.
Oh, but I can cast a first level spell, but cast it at second level, can't I?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to.
Smite.
He wants to prove himself in front of everybody and do something that he's not like naturally great at. So it'd be easy for him to like do 100 press ups for Mistra right now to prove it. But instead, he's gonna try try to gauge the atmosphere. I want to make an insight check basically on the kind of like atmosphere of the room as I also cast protection from evil and good on myself.
You want to maintain the sanctity of this council and protect them from evil and good.
Yeah.
And you want to discern how strong that protection is with an insight check.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, make it at advantage. Oi.
No good.
As you step forward and you cast this spell, it seems as though you're just unable to discern just how freely the weave flows through your two compatriots. Okay. Warkek, are you progressing?
And he's just looking around to see if is this everything. Have we done everything we could? Is that he's looking at each of you? I think we did. The real test, or the way we prove the purity, is not by trying to win the test for the sake of winning it. We want to be pure enough to even fail it, but do so in the name of Our Lady Light. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Resigned to success or failure. You know that the council is trying their best. An impure bunch from the outside, and definitely a mixed bag. People who've come to the faith more recently through different histories and different backgrounds. As the three step forward, the room is bathed in white once more. Warcack, you hear. Let not your faith waver, O former denizen of the Wild Mother. The Lady of Mysteries knows the true nature of your hearts, and for me, they are pure enough. And you pass the final test.
Yay!
Yeah.
Just to let you know, 40 was the DC for all the
I-
Oh
tests.
shit!
I thought so. Was 40 the highest we could have gotten on purity?
I don't think so.
Are we okay to reveal stuff now, or you don't want us to?
You can. I would also like you to reveal whether you feel you've met your secret objective. And then
definitely
we
have.
can give Lucy a chance to see how many she can uncover.
Yes.
So you only just have to confirm whether you met it or whether you didn't, and that might help Lucy figure out.
Yes, for me.
Yes,
No.
for me.
Not for me.
I did not. Thanks for that last check.
Okay, I think I got 3 out of 4. I think. This
All
could be
right.
shit, guys. And the 4 is John. No. I mean, I've got notes, but that doesn't. I mean, I'll read them. I wrote notes, guys, like full on. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
No, I mean, it might be shit. So. Okay, we'll go with Carousel. Am I reading them out? What I kind of went with?
Tell her what you think,
Yeah.
and they can confirm it or
So
not.
just this is notes of what you've been saying, so it'll probably make no sense. Redeem herself, commitment to the people of Silvercrest, maybe to a brother, change the course of history and then I've gone to hide his purity score or not admit to it or to not be sure on her involvement in all of this. That's all I got for that. Make any of that sense?
But bear in mind, Lucy, that everyone is forbidden from sharing. So a secret objective to kind of keep your purity score from someone would just be the rules. So it
Okay.
wouldn't be part of their objective.
Ignore that bit then. These were kind of ongoing notes. But then I got with to never be sure on her involvement in the secret objective.
I love it. That sounds like a great objective.
Sounds like Carousel as well.
I
John, is
did.
that
It was
what
the
it
one I
was?
wasn't confident.
I almost wish it
No,
was.
it was to try and lead others to success on the tests without including herself.
God damn it, of course.
But when everyone refused to step in when I was already there, so I was kind of lost at that point.
Given that he didn't succeed, it would have been really hard to find out what it was. But yeah, there was a real moment where I could see John was like, okay, am I going to sacrifice my own secret
saw that
objective
too.
to pass the test? And that's what you did, didn't you? You sacrificed.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really see a way out of it, and I thought, well, I don't know what my Zealous score is, so at least if I fail the objective, it's. And I knew it wasn't my lowest one, so.
I remember in that one, I basically kept my going, kind of sacrificing your a bit. You'll find out in a minute.
Okay, Lucy. So one down.
Yeah. Go on.
Any others?
Yeah. So because I could just say this was shit and I didn't do any of it, but I got to convince Mistra with performance, and then I moved into to be in every test so far.
Whose is this?
This is Gareth.
Yeah. What do you think, Gareth?
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
I'll
say,
give you that. What was your objective?
to be in at least 3 out of the 4 tests
Yeah.
because I am important.
Yeah.
That's
So,
the
yeah,
only
you've
one
got-
I'm kind of confident with.
You've got
Okay.
one.
Lucas. Now I feel like what I got for you was what John had. So I've got to encourage other players to take part, to not take part in so many, to work out everyone else's score, and also to and he as a background is willing to understand how determined each character is in their faith. That was based on your last kind of thing that you
I'm
did.
going to, because you were quite warm with 2 of the things you said there, I'm going to give you a clue to see if you can get it. So,
This is hard.
that Lucas's secret objective was to not be involved if one other character was involved. So couldn't be in a
Yeah.
test if another character was. Do you have an idea, thinking back to the test they did and didn't participate in, who that character was?
Okay. If a certain character was involved, they took themselves out.
Mm-hmm. So they never participated in a task where this character did.
Do
Unless
you have the list of who was in each one?
Yeah, and the scores are kind of but they could be. Well, oh no, it fucks up. I must have fucked up because I've got Gareth down for everyone.
Yep.
But then Lucas, you came into the first one, I think.
So it's not
wouldn't-
Gareth.
No. I might have just wrote non-applicable on the. Oh, I've got.
Yeah.
No, I've not got it, guys. I've messed up somewhere.
Maybe I don't know if it's gonna jog your memory, but if you ignore like trying to remember who was in which test, but like remember what Warwick was saying about going into certain tests in the beginning, if you do remember about the
I don't.
issue.
So
Oh, okay. I thought I was.
there's a lot. I was keeping track of a lot.
There was a lot of going on. So.
Yeah. Okay, have a guess, Lucy. I'll give you one guess. You look at the board as it is at the minute for a clue.
Well, he tried to encourage John in the first one, so he wouldn't do that if that was the case. You already know my scores. I said Gareth. So it's got to be Kirsty's character, right? Yes.
Correct.
It was.
Nice.
Well, I've messed up somewhere because I've wrote you both down on one, but never mind.
We weren't so in the very first one, which was Warwick's highest. He was doing everything he could to discourage Valzax to apply. He was going after Corazel, saying, "Come in for this. You need to come in for this."
Oh my
Or
God.
if not you, then jump to the thingy. And then the second one, Valzax came up straight away. And what I did was what Warwick did. It was he said, "Oh, there's too many of us in here." Do you not remember me saying that? Like,
Yeah.
there's enough zealousness in the room with just this guy. Do you know? Maybe I was not making it clear enough.
I mean, it's quite difficult to pick up on.
There was a lot
didn't.
going on. There was a lot.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if it was about the game itself or the character. Like, is it something
I know
around?
that's something that I should probably make clearer. And this is effectively a play test because
Of course,
I've pulled these rules out of thin air. So, do you
Oh,
have an
God.
idea as to the kind of secret objective that Valzax had?
I mean, only by the last bit, and that would be like she's trying to understand if anybody's I'm gonna say tainted or has low scores and they're putting themselves forwards. Trying to understand that. I mean, that could be shit. I'm sorry. I don't know. That's all I got.
No. So it was difficult because what I didn't expect was for Valzax to take the hit on Frederick because that by doing that she would have undermined her own secret objective, which is why I gave her a second chance. So I gave
2 skill checks.
It's not just 2 skill checks. Kirsty, what was it?
It was to succeed on all skill checks where he had no proficiency.
Ooh.
So I was I had succeeded.
Yeah.
I was never
Yeah.
going to get that, guys.
Yeah.
Did you? Did
yeah.
ask? Are you proficient in that?
I
No.
tried. Yeah, I did try
You
and
did.
ask just to try and highlight it, but it was a difficult one to get. However, I'm going to say 2 out of 4, given that this is the first time I'd ever done anything like this. I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to say that's a
definitely-
pass for your secret objective.
It's definitely
thanks.
a tricky one.
I mean, I'm sweating now, but thanks. Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm impressed. So that
Kirsty,
means
did you pass because you are actually proficient in insight?
No, I failed my insight check. I passed the persuasion check, and I'm not proficient in that. So I had, as far as I knew, passed my objective. But then when I was asked to do another one, I picked something else that I wasn't proficient in, and wasn't like deception.
what I tried to
Um,
imply in your secret objective there, Kirsty, was that you had to use you had to use it on when it says all. You must succeed on all skill checks where you have no proficiency, i.e., you must take those skill checks and pass them where you don't have proficiency.
Okay.
So that wasn't clear, which is why I gave you a second chance. So I was going to fail you because you used one to ask Frederick. Yeah.
Oh right, okay.
that
I thought
wasn't
I
a
was doing
skill
a
check.
good thing.
No,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, that's why I gave you the second chance.
But what if? Okay, that's fine. What if nobody had asked? Like, what if nobody had done it?
Well, that was your objective to do it twice.
Do 2 skill checks,
Yeah.
basically.
You can do them at any point.
Do 2 skill tests,
She's
pass them
Yeah.
both without having proficiency. That's a hard one.
It is.
Hmm.
It is. Well, advantage helps a little, but it's
Yeah. And also, Valzax has the lowest stats.
Yeah.
So that was hard. But that's
Somebody's
just the dice.
objective should have been to help Lucy get an objective. That's what I think should have happened.
Well, you managed to guess mine pretty good.
You were pretty obvious, though. You're pretty obvious. Yeah. Somebody that's the secret lesson there, DM. Just help the person that's suffering.
Yeah.
Give them an objective to help. No,
Well,
I'm joking.
you got 2 out of 4, and that's not bad at all. And so we got 3.
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5, and you passed all the tests. So that's pretty good. You know, a good team performance. Would you like me to reveal what your rewards are? I'll reveal your individual rewards first, and then the overall one we're going to go to Mia with. Okay.
Mhm.
So, Kalain. Sorry, where are my rewards? Here we go. Kalain, you will be able to bestow this reward on any item of your choosing. Given that she's got magical paintbrushes, blessing magical items, yeah, you can select any item and turn it into a magic item, whether it's armor, weapons, clothing, whatever it is. You can, as Kalain, bestow that on any adventurer that you want.
Give it to Jacob.
I have a feeling that that's what he was going to do because he's obviously missing his magical stuff.
I mean, why do the game if we can't give
Yeah.
rewards?
Sorry, who was next? Tisha. Tisha, obviously this is your character, so the reward goes to you.
Yep.
But you tried so hard, and you were really trying to imbibe the flavor of what everybody was doing.
I came so far, but in the end, it doesn't really matter.
+2 wisdom.
Proficiency with insight and a +2 wisdom bonus. Okay.
Shit.
That is sick.
Yeah.
You might need to tell me how to do all that, but yeah, cool.
Yeah, I can adjust it on your sheet.
Thank you.
And Warkek. You were the other one.
Holy shit, that is pretty great.
Oof.
I feel like the fact that we rolled, he's a druid, and the fact that we rolled for for Wild Mother, there could be some interesting interaction there going on between him and Tilly, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, loves Mistra now though.
Yeah. Gosh. So, I don't know. I feel mean since everybody passed. Since you passed all the tests, I wasn't your objective when I said your objective was to pass as many tests as possible. My hope was that you would pass 3 of the 4, but you actually passed all of them. In terms of doing better than I expected, I'm tempted to give everybody their secret objective reward.
Think you
Yeah.
should.
Is that fair?
It's your choice, yeah.
I have no
Yeah.
problems with that.
Okay.
It was a really
Like you
fun
would.
game.
All right. So
No issue with that.
No
let's
issue.
do.
No issue.
Let's do.
No, just don't give it to John. Whatever you do, don't. No, I'm joking.
Corazel.
Yep.
Gets an armband that gives Smoke some HP.
Hmm.
Shit.
Wow.
That is so Smoke.
Yes.
Inspired leader.
After last session, I think it kind of is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And Valzax.
Holy!
Whoa.
That is insane. That's just insane.
Well,
So you can just level someone up.
yep. Only if they train with him for 24 hours, they're gonna have to prove their
Were.
worth. But yeah.
Be a
Well,
nice way to get some of the characters up.
Yeah,
to
we've got a little bit of
level.
imbalance, haven't we? So
Yeah, it's Tilly and
This is mega
Smoke.
imbalance now.
Tisha.
but
Not Tilly.
obviously you can
Oh, Tilly.
you can bestow these you don't have to bestow them on your own characters. You can decide together how best to deploy. I would prefer it if only one character got one bonus. Do you know what I mean? But if you all agree that maybe 2 bonuses for one character is better if they're further behind, or if it just works with their character, you know, it's up to you. But yeah, thank you for participating in my Council of Stars minigame.
Yay!
It was a puzzle,
Awesome.
and you all did really well.
Oh, you
It
did well for
wasn't just
setting
Yeah,
it
that's
up.
a push
cool.
door for a change.
It wasn't just what?
A push door.
Yeah, exactly.
it was fun. We still got some time, right?
Of course, yeah, we'll be going back to your regular characters in a
Got a
moment.
discussion to have about who gets what.
And then we've got mere meeting as well. So the light fades, and each of you, and sometimes more than once, have made various commitments. The purpose of the Council of Stars is now apparent. Before the questions that Mia has can be answered, you all hear in your minds that Mia is to enter the room and the rest of you are to leave. So I guess you'd have like Jacob and Mia like outside the room.
They can have conversations with each other. Just
Blah, 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 blah.
Well, we've
So
hugged and made up now. Jacob made her a little figurine and everything.
no. She's all cool.
The light returns to normal. Freddy turns to Tisha. I think we think we've got some real important work to do, Tisha.
Well, yeah, I've committed. I'm intrigued though. Why were you not part of that?
I was using my abilities to maintain our connection to Mistra.
Oh, okay. Did she sort of speak to you to say don't get involved or that kind of thing?
Yes.
Unless asked. Oh, okay.
Gods must
Makes
maintain
sense.
an objective distance, and given that she was involved in that meeting, I had to sacrifice my own involvement to maintain that distance.
Well,
I'm proud of you, though.
thanks. I think I've got a good mission ahead of me. And I think everybody, I mean, you heard everybody's kind of thoughts there. We've
There's
got
so much work to do.
Yeah, exactly. So much. But I think we can do it. Everybody's sort of motivated now. They've been part of this, so definitely it's exciting. And nerve-wracking, but exciting.
I agree. I need. We should get to work straight away. I'm going to go back to the spire, and I'd like to help with one of your promises. I think we should just stop. Perhaps take a break from doing all this reading and research, and perhaps just go and make sure nobody's going to spend tonight on the streets. It's Midwinter's Eve.
Yeah,
No one should be
yeah,
out tonight.
I agree. Maybe yeah.
I'm going to go.
I was saying maybe the first level of the spire can be used as
Yeah.
some sort of shelter,
Do you
or the
think,
temple itself, maybe.
Valzax, do you think we could house people here tonight as well, in the temple? Go, Steve.
Sorry, I was in mirror mode.
Yeah.
What was the question?
They're asking
You're
Valzax
taking in the
whether they could
homeless.
use taking the homeless tonight in the temple.
Of course. It's Midwinter's Eve. The more the merrier.
Excellent.
Okay, let's go. And Freddy dons his fur cloak, takes his quarterstaff, and sets out. He kind of collates all of what gold coins he has, and sets about distributing them and rehousing people, if only for tonight. Tisha, are you staying in the temple? Are you going to, or you could join. You could stay.
I'll stay.
Where would your other characters go, and what would they do? Balzac, Corazel, Warcat, Kalain.
Elaine wouldn't be in a rush to distribute her thing yet until she thought about it. She would, however, want to rush back to her studio and paint what she viewed, her images of what she's seen of the evening, to start
Absolutely.
spreading the message.
Immortalize the meeting of the Council of Stars at Mistra, definitely.
Yes.
Just make a performance check there for that, as Kalain.
Okay.
The painting is mwah, and it is going to be in the temple as soon as it's done.
Great.
Be worth a lot of money as well. But yeah, it'll take you maybe a 10-day to do.
Yeah.
All right. What about Corazel?
I think Corazel will probably join people and head into the temple. As you were saying, there'd be like a lot of people are being welcomed in and stuff, and it's going to be the midwinter celebration. So she's going to try and like get to know the people a little bit and try and like what's the word, but like revitalize a sort of connection with the people and be seen around people more and like socialize with the common people a little bit more and try and get that going again.
Ladle out some hot soup to the homeless in Midwinter's Eve. Yeah. Awesome. She hangs around, makes preparations. What about Warcack?
I think he'd be quite interested in planning out his commitments as far as the building the chapels and spreading the word around, villages and beer hub and beer point and every other village around Silvercrest. So maybe he'd be looking to grab some maps and put a plan together, start a list of resources he might need, list of manpower and that sort of
Yeah.
thing. And
Do
probably
a
go on.
do an investigation check. Just going to see whether he can use his like dwarvish connections to requisition all the parts he needs and put the plans together. I'll give you advantage because you passed all the tests. So
Okay, let's just give me 1 second. Investigation, I think, is probably his not his strong suit. Okay, so boom. That's
let's just say it's going to take
it's
him
gonna take
until
months.
next winter for him
Yeah.
to get the
Yeah,
chapels up and running.
Yeah,
But
which
he's got a lot to do.
yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah. And Valzax?
Is Valzax aware of the any gift giving that happens at Midwinter's Fest? Is that a thing?
It is a tradition to exchange gifts on other Midwinter's Festival. It's not like a big, huge deal like Christmas, but it's more, token gestures, exchanges,
Okay.
goodwill, if you like.
I think.
It
All
can be
right. Okay.
material, and it can just be offerings.
Okay. I think to begin with, he would boost his ego by doing 100 press ups just to do something that he's good at because he doesn't feel good that he failed his objective. And then I think with the promise of some people coming to stay that maybe are in greater need than he's going to try and see what he can do to make the place very hospitable and maybe treat them somehow tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Just whatever he can do.
I'm going to say make a survival check for this. I'll give you advantage as well. Hey!
Still only a 19.
Yeah, Valzax turns his attention away from the meeting and towards the people. And he just uses his kind of awesome aura to make people feel welcome, to impart advice, help, wisdom, and just generally be a symbol of goodwill on this Midwinter's Eve. Excellent. So we will leave the meeting there, and you can think about how to bestow your gifts and who to bestow them on in a moment. However, at this moment, the temple, the cloister, the meeting room in the temple is empty. And with the doors swing open and the Council of Stars disbanded, Mia, you feel the call of the Lady of Stars
Okay.
pulling you into the room.
If I'm with Jacob, I'll just say, I think it feels like my turn. And I'll
Do
just
your
step
best,
in.
be honest. See your god, our goddess.
You walk in, and the doors magically close behind you. This time, the white light turns to pink. And even though you've not been branded with Mistress Blessing, you know that your connection to the Lady of Magic stretches back well before you ever entered Silvercrest, and is actually the weave threads through your family tree like yarn in a willow. You are entwined with the weave through your very existence, your family, your history, and your faith. That pink light fades, and in a flaming pink silhouette stood opposite you is Midnight. She reaches out and offers to take your hand.
I'll take it.
That purple fire, which you saw as white when it transferred onto smoke, just seems to have that personal mere flavour as it spreads across you. And your connection to Midnight and thus Mistra is at this point as strong as it's ever been. What do you wish to ask, my child?
The seventh member. I need to find them.
She looks pensive and worried. I have adopted a senior position amongst the other gods of the realms for a millennia. However, I am not the shining example of the rules like someone like Helm is. And in the past, I've paid the price for my willingness to step beyond the divine gate. And at this point, Midnight unbuckles her leather armor, and just where her solar plexus is, she reveals a scar of her own.
It's you.
Helm and his supporters have forbidden the kind of intervention that I've made on your behalf. And I already took a big risk to save Silvercrest and surround it with my protection. However, I do wish to reward you, my most faithful of servants. I can tell you that the seventh star has a title. A title that they have achieved through advanced arcane study, the likes of which is only achieved once in a generation. This person, for good or ill, has become one of the most powerful magic users on Toril. And thus has inherited the title of Magister. This title is not a gift bestowed by me. It's one that is taken in battle. And the only person you can take the title of Magister from. The previous Magister. Either through death or even more rare submission. The current Magister killed the previous one very recently. And they have a claim to this temple and to be the head of the council.
Mm-hmm.
However, I fear that they do not wish to share their power. Mia, do you know what destiny is?
I think so. I think it's created by the weave.
Destiny.
An invisible path.
Destiny is a path that you can follow like a thread embroidered into the weave, set out before us all. Your destiny, Mia, to become the Magister.
Mm.
But to do that, you must find the seventh star and assume their power for your own. Slay them in battle. Prove your worth. Demonstrate your power. These rules forbid me for disclosing their identity directly. However, I can grant you the power and the knowledge as to discern the location of any one single being in the entire universe, on any plane. You have only but to ask.
I want that. I want to find the Magister. Oh my god.
Do you have, as a DM, do you have any idea who it might be? Don't tell me, just tell me whether you have an idea.
I don't, not off the top of my head right now.
Okay. So you don't have to ask Mistra straight away, but if you want to take some time to think about it, consult with the party before you ask for the location of, it can be anyone. So you can use it to uncover, if you want to find the Magister, you've got to think, okay, who could this be? And start trying to work it out. You could selfishly, if you want to, use this request in any other way you want. You could say, okay, I want to find Tilly's father, or I want to find my father, or I want to find anyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got that. This is your reward. You can
I
find the
see.
location of anyone, but obviously, as Mistress told you what your destiny is. So whether you want to use that gift directly for that, it's up to you.
Yeah. This is like a one-off power.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And I guess I would assume that they don't have to be a worshipper of Mistra.
She senses your mind as it races to try and unlock the mystery. Oh, you just make a religion check.
18.
It's a good score. The position of magister was started by one human wizard who became the greatest wizard in the history of Toril. He became so powerful that he crossed the divine gate as the magister and became the god of wizards. If you wish to learn more about the magister, I suggest you seek out followers of Azuth, who they worship and deify. Do you wish to ask your question? Or do you wish to commune with me at a later date?
I feel like I'm being stupid.
I don't want to make you feel that way. You can speak to me as a player, or
I don't know. I feel stupid that I don't know
no, that's okay. That's all right.
who this
It might
is.
come to you, and the other party members might be able to help you.
I won't ask the question now.
Okay. Mistra steps back as midnight, and that pink fire dissipates, and you feel that strong connection to the weave just weaken slightly, although it's as strong as it's ever been for you. You are no longer plugged into it as you just were.
Ooh.
In order to commune with me and ask this question, you must speak your full name in prayer, and I'll hear it. Goodbye, Mia. And she gives you a wry smile. Disappears.
Thank you, Midnight.
The door just creaks open in the wind slightly.
I'll wait kind of 30 seconds or so just to process and then leave.
Okay. Where is everybody? What are we doing?
If she's leaving, Jacob would then want to go into the empty room.
Back in 2 seconds.
Okay. I think, Gareth,
Yeah.
I know what you're going to ask, but I've
Yeah.
already given you what you've asked for.
So I was wondering if that's what you'd done. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So
I'll
there'd
do
be
it
no
through
need to.
Kalain.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I'll do it through Kalain. Okay.
I'll save you
that's
the
fine.
embarrassment of being left on red by Mr. Kalain has what you need.
Okay.
Okay.
Jacob would probably want to seek her out anyway about the paints, which he's not. He's quite confused about using anyway. So that works doubly.
Sure.
So Jacob would probably go see Kalain, and I really don't want to act both characters.
It's okay. I can assume Kalain. If you tell me that you want to spend your gift on Jacob as Kalain, I can do that.
I think unless any of the group disagree, Jacob would like to. I would
it
like Jacob.
makes perfect sense. That was
As
something you wanted as a player for a long time, and
it's more to it's the so for those that just as an explanation in game, his sword, he feels it's been corrupted by hell and he wants it purified and into Mistra's, as he now serves Mistra. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
that makes sense. So
You-
that's Kalain, and then Tisha's gift, she can't pass on, right? That's just for her, the one she got done, right?
Yeah, Tisha's is just for Tisha.
Okay. Which leaves 3. Magic initiate the level up and the inspiring leader, which I think. What do you guys think? So it's between Kirsty, me, and John.
Well, I think Tilly definitely needs to level up because you're quite behind.
Um, I could do that. All of them are quite interesting. I'm not, like I said, I'm not hell bent on leveling up, but I could do that. I am level 11. I would be back at same level as Smoke and Tisha, just which would be one level behind the originals. Well, Smoke is original too, but he was on a hiatus. So I could be okay with that. So the two between the ones that you'd have to decide is the inspiring leader and the magic initiate. Which I think, yeah, Kirsty's has got a good point. She kind of already has it because she's that kind of cleric.
Yeah.
So maybe inspiring leader for her would make more sense, and then Smoke would just like randomly start putting magic mage hand out of
Yeah, it
nowhere.
doesn't really.
That could be funny.
Yeah.
I think Magic Initiate is quite flexible, so you can, you know, it would be a way for like Mir, for example, to get like some wizard spells that she might have access to, or some sorcerer spells, or do you know what I mean? You can.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what
To be
I.
fair,
That's what I
a long time ago, I did think about getting Magic Initiate back when Smoke was with Gallin a lot.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, it could be funny if you took like magic initiate from, yeah, I don't know, like a cleric or a druid and get like a first level heal or something, or something utility based, or
um,
something that could make it like completely unaware. Like
you get
you know,
spare the dying.
it could do.
I can take it. Like, it probably makes good RP sense for Smoke to get the leader one.
it
But
kind of
you're
makes
already
like,
as
sense.
well.
I've already got 2 good cantrips.
It does
You're
kind of
already.
make
already.
sense the other way around as well, though, because it makes
It
sense for
does.
Mir to have inspiring leader and more
She's the
charisma
You are the
leader.
now
leader
that
of the
she's come out of
temple.
that experience. And Smoke, although not perhaps all that diligently, has tried to study and understand magic, if just to understand what the hell is. His whole character arc has been like, there are other gods? Magic exists? What the
Here's what
fuck?
here's guys, here's what I propose. So the inspiring leader feat is where you can spend a 10-minute inspiring your companions, and that gives a bunch of benefits. So for 1 minute, Kirsty and John will do an inspiring speech in front of us, and we'll see which one's better. Which one?
How do you mute someone on Discord?
You right click on them and take their volume all the way down.
It's
Bye,
totally up to
Lucas.
you. Just to say, Tisha, I've given you that wisdom bonus and proficiency in insight. You should be, if you refresh your character sheet, you should be able to see that now. You now have +6 to insight, which is pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
So you guys can decide what you want.
If you would prefer the charisma inspiring leader, I could take a magic initiate. if you're not going to be gaining, because to me I'm not gaining like anything too crazy from either, but it would be kind of cool if Smoke was like just blessed a little bit from his meeting with like Midnight and returning the orb to Mistra, that he gets like a little bit of magic, like a little bit of holy shit, like
Yeah, because he's super harsh to magic right now. He's like, fuck magic whenever we do some sort of thing.
Yeah.
And now we'd be like, yeah,
No, he's not. He's not
enjoy the
like
benefits.
he's not like
Pink.
fuck magic. Like
He's
been
definitely
helped out
gone,
a
oh,
lot.
sod this.
He just
No,
doesn't
I'm
know
joking, I'm
about
joking.
it, so he's like,
Yeah.
he can rely on his sword and
It
shield.
does make very recent RP sense, definitely.
Yeah.
It'd be
But
funny that
it's-
Smoke starts glowing with Mistra's light every now and again.
What would you
I like to
prefer,
think
John?
that Smoke has actually been like, like in secret has been reading books, and then whenever someone comes in the room, he's like throws the book off the desk and like starts sharpening his sword or whatever. Like, it's ready for battle.
I like that.
That is
Which would you prefer, John?
I'll honestly take a magic initiate if I think the inspiring leader works for you. Smoke's recent thing wasn't about necessarily being a leader. It was about potentially sacrificing himself and being zealous, I suppose, in the face of danger and doing the right thing on behalf of Mistra. But it's Mir that's leading. When it comes to Mistra and all the magic and all this sort of stuff, it makes more sense for Mir to be the leader in these situations.
I'll say diplomatically, you both have equal claim to a leadership role. Smoke is the leader of the 12 tribes, well, not the 12,
That
but
is true.
the tribes of Tabaxi clan. So
that is also true.
you both have people who look to you. I'm not trying to persuade you either way, but I don't want you to, I want you to think about the game, because it's a big deal getting a feat. It's not something that comes around very often, and we've got to think going forward. Who's going to make the best use out of it. I don't want to sway you, but I just want to give you that perspective.
Is the magic initiate is it still of use to you? I know the intelligence, you don't cast with your intelligence, do you? So that's not like a huge thing, but
I think I would. Oh no. So the
Hold on,
intelligence won't mean anything.
Let me.
The only thing with the addition of the intelligence is that I wouldn't have any minus stats anymore.
like
Also,
history
for your
checks and
skills.
stuff like that.
your
Yeah.
Arcana gets better, wouldn't it? Because you're in Arcana's
Oh,
intelligence
that's true
based.
as well. Yeah.
And
yeah.
isn't religion? Look at my own character sheet. Religion is intelligence based as well.
Oh shit! I thought it was wisdom.
Yeah.
So you get
I just hadn't
better at
noticed because
magic.
I'm
Get better at
proficient in
magic,
those.
better at religion, and get a couple of extra spells.
You
Are
look
we
like
gonna roll for it? What are we doing?
you just did your nose
Can
like
I just
Samantha out of the
hang
whip.
out with Balzac for 24 hours and just level up to 14?
I mean,
Sorry, Tilly.
you're in control of
I'm not
your
doing that.
gift to give.
I'm not doing it.
You could. I'm not gonna cry about it if that's what you want.
No, that's absolutely not what I want. It's just
I will
your
cry about
decision.
it. I'll just.
The person who it's up to is whoever received the reward, the player. So who got the magic initiate reward?
It was Warkek.
That was
So
me.
yeah. So Lucas, what do you?
can't put that on me. Chris will hate me. Will hate me forever.
Well,
I don't know. I just to me, I feel like it would be most interesting if Mir got the leader and Smoke got the magic. To me, but I don't want to make that decision. I just
Okay.
want to say what I feel like would be most interesting.
I would say that mechanically, I know I don't want to lean on like mechanics and all that sort of thing too much, but the magic initiate would probably actually help me more in terms of combat and stuff like that than would because the inspiring leader helps everyone, and the charisma wouldn't affect me, but the magic initiate would allow me to gain something like shield, which doesn't rely on a spellcasting modifier.
Actually, what's your charisma right now?
It's flat as 10.
is 10, which means you can't actually take this because even with +2, your charisma would be 12, and there's a prerequisite to magic initiative. No, there's a prerequisite to
Prerequisite to
Inspiring leader.
multi-classing.
The inspiring leader has a
inspiring leader requires minimum of 13 in charisma. I think that probably made the decision for us,
Yeah.
which
Ah.
means
Oh.
Well,
you
shit,
can't
yeah, I
take
didn't
it.
realize that.
But Mia can't
But,
you?
yeah, because she's got 13 charisma right now.
Get out my character sheet.
I know everything. I've got good memory for numbers.
I will say that, and this may, I will say that
You're gonna
I
drop the
didn't.
prerequisite now.
No, I'm not going to drop the prerequisite. I'm going to say that whoever +2 charisma bonus inspiring leader feat. I will drop the prerequisite, i.e., that you need a certain level of charisma to take it, and I will buff whoever, if they need a buff, to at least 13. So it could be essentially a +3 for smoke to charisma. But it doesn't make a difference mechanically.
It doesn't, but we hate you now because it was a
that kind of decided it for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie, you take that, right? You take charisma. I'll take magic.
Well, I kind of agree with what Lucas was saying.
I would rather people make RP decisions and not mechanics decisions.
Ooh.
That's
I
my
agree with
sense.
Lucas with the smoke taking the magic initiative.
Why?
And well, it's more because Mia, we've been dealing with Mistra, we've been dealing with Midnight. It's more that Mia is kind of the leader of all of that's been happening. She's leader of the KMF. She's led us all. She looks after the party a lot. I think
I
she
do
is
tend to agree
inspiring.
that, like, when it comes to all the Mistra missions and stuff like that, she is inevitably the leader. And I will say, this is not me just like making this up now, but way back, I'm talking, like level 5 and stuff like that. When Smoke was hanging around with Gallin all the time, I did think for a long time about taking Magic Initiate to try and learn what little he can to like use magic to buff him. So I kind of do think it makes sense from RP and with the handing over of, and also like he could have taken that orb and just gone and fucked off to the tribe and been like, this is Tabaxi orb now, and just left the party. But he gave it to Mistra, so
yeah, from my dead character's perspective, this taking of the magic initiative would be a little bit of like a tribute to your fallen friend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Mia has been quite a reluctant leader, so maybe this will be a boost that she needs.
A coming of age.
Yeah.
I do tend to agree with that. Yeah.
Are you happy with that choice?
Yeah.
I think so. Let's do it. We're also in keeping with the prerequisite rules as it happens as well.
Okay.
It's not a bad thing, is it?
No.
Yeah,
that's fine. Okay.
So what do I do?
You can take the. I can do it on your sheet if you want.
What the heck am I Tilly gonna be doing with Valzax for 24 hours? Is what I want to know.
Oh, you're gonna be doing some
playing
fucking shredding.
You go to manage feats on your character sheet, Kirsty, and just add it.
Yeah, but you've also got to just up one of your stats as well, which you can do in the editor.
Yes.
Okay, I can do that.
So yeah, edit your stat directly, and then manage feat, add inspiring leader,
and then that'll let me pick some new spell.
Cantrips, 2 cantrips and a first level spell in what?
So you think?
That's magic. That's magic initiative. Sorry.
Yeah.
Inspiring leader.
We could run through like a short, like 1 day downtime, and everybody could be doing their own stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's Midwinter's Eve, so like you can have the rest of Midwinter's Eve. I can say that you could fit the, you could fit the training in. I don't want that to detract. So, as long as you fit the training in before you leave Silvercrest, or then you can just take the level up. It's fine. I'm not being too picky with that.
Okay. It was a really good
Just
game.
I'm gonna say you don't have much time to spend with Trazamin at the minute if you're going to take that.
Yeah, it does make sense. I think I think she was just trying to figure out if he's okay. He hasn't left. That he's there, recuperating, and that's what he intends to do for the time being. Then
Okay.
she's okay with that.
All right. So, when does Jacob go and see Colleen? Like immediately?
Um, yeah, it would be, but he would go and he wouldn't barge in. He'd sort of sit and watch her work because actually watching her paint would help with his own understandings of how to maybe use the paints. So then he'd wait for an opportune time to speak to her when she noticed him.
Okay. You observe Colleen. She is. When an artist is just like in the zone. She has animated instruments, a viola and a harp, and a lute, just playing in the corner. So they're like playing like this classical music, and she has her sleeves rolled up, and she is kind of pacing up and down in front of this canvas, adding, swipes and strokes, almost beyond her control. Just as inspiration takes her, she takes a few steps back and puts her hand to her chin as she tries to observe the kind of entropy of her creation. And she hears you come in, Jacob. Oh, Jacob, I didn't see you there.
I'm sorry for disturbing you.
No, it's quite all right. And she turns around and says, actually, just step forward.
Yeah, he will do.
As you step forward into the light that peeks through her partially drawn velvet curtains in her regal kind of dock front manor house. You step into the light, and she does one of these. You have very prominent cheekbones and a sharp nose and chin. You should be on a coin, Jacob.
Thank you, I think. I find myself changed by recent events.
Don't we all? And she kind of rubs her hand, which you can see this 7-pointed scar seems to have recently reappeared on her hand. She picks up a paintbrush. What do you think? And she points you towards only a partially, begun painting. You can basically see the structure of the meeting as she experienced it in rough outlines and harsh strokes.
Already, this is much greater than anything I could create. You are truly a skilled artist, Elaine.
One has to combine a natural inspiration with arcane brilliance, and she takes her paintbrush and just lets it go, and the paintbrush stays in the air, and she whisks it towards the canvas, and it floats in a kind of animated fashion and starts painting and following her finger strokes that she makes in midair. I am grateful for the ability to paint from different perspectives. And indeed, Mistress seems to have given me a new one. Is there something I can do for you, Jacob?
There are two things. I wish to I wish to firstly learn from you. You gave me the magical pigments some time ago, and to be honest, I've been worried about using them too much. I'm no skilled artist, and just sitting and watching you paint for some time may assist me in using them in the future. So I wish to ask that of you, and also to speak about Mister and her blessings in general, and ask. Well, I think I've told you some of the story of our story. I want to ask Mister to remove the corruption and bless my family sword. And I wondered, I'm not the most charismatic of person, as you know. Wondered about how to ask her for such a boon. My
You've
sword
come
fell through
to
a
the right
portal in.
person. Jacob. Indeed, following the latest council meeting, I've been granted to work through Mistra as a conduit, if you will. I've always been able to affect different items, as you can see with my paintbrushes and my musical instruments. Let me take a look at that sword.
I draw it
Oh,
and pass it to her.
this is a relic.
It was
You
my
wouldn't-
grandfather's. He fought with it in the settlement wars.
You wouldn't get 30 gold pieces for this back in Waterdeep these days. And she looks at this, antique sword that seems to have seen better days.
That sword fell through a portal into Avernus and came back with a very strange curse on it. If I fumble in my attacks, it burns my hand. But if I strike true, it burns my enemy. But having seen Avernus, having temporarily seen what that plane looks like, it is so far away from Mistra's light that somebody sworn to her, I don't feel like I should be wielding it. But it is my family's.
It should have stayed in Avernus. Sit with me.
Very well.
You may pray to Mistra, and through my hand she may lift this curse. Please, speak to the Lady of Mysteries. Ask her what you will.
Mistra, you know all that I could ever say and ever ask for. I have seen your power, I have seen your beauty and grace. You know I have made many mistakes. I try to do what is right, although I do quite often fall short. I would seek you to remove this taint from my family's legacy, from the weapon I carry, and try to do good deeds with, so that I may more easily and show your benevolence and grace when I am out acting in your name and for the good of everybody, rather than just myself as I was wont to years ago.
Is it a rapier?
It is a
Dave?
rapier.
Okay. She lays the rapier down on some kind of velvet cloth, and she kind of touches it. A silence lingers for longer than either of you feel comfortable with, and when you finally gain the courage to open your eyes, it seems as though Kalain has already got up and is returned to her painting. I just want you to make a religion check at advantage. Okay.
Dirty 20.
As you kind of look at Kalain and you start to wonder, like, is that it? Did Mr. hear me? You start to notice your rapier. It looks cleaner than it did. The silver looks polished. The blade looks sharp. But that's not the thing that is most striking. The blade seems to just wobble and starts to lift off the ground slightly. And as the strikes or the strokes of Kalain's paintbrush become more pronounced, you see the sword raise up and follow in those strikes. It starts moving of its own accord. And then the musical instruments begin to play a different song. And they seem to interrupt the rhythm of the sword and the paint strokes. And the sword begins to dance to the sound of the music. And Colleen turns round. Oh. Well. It seems as though the curse has been lifted and the sword is dancing to a new tune, to Mistress tune.
We'll wield it in her name.
And as you say that, it flies into your hand. You can add dancing sword, the rapier variety, to your inventory.
Thank you.
It's a very rare magic item.
Yeah, dancing rapier.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. I have it.
That is cool.
Okay.
Fits your subclass as well, like the swashbuckler.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very nice.
Righto. Who's doing what?
Oh, I'm working out with Valzax, I guess.
Valzax is making you, force feeding you like stacks of protein pancakes.
All right, as long as it's all vegan, she's gonna be happy
Yeah.
to chug on it. No problem.
He's found some vegan milk substitute, oat milk. So yeah. Anybody else?
Tisha's going to go around the temple and start to sort of make like bed kind of situations in different locations and gather like bed rolls and pillows and blankets and that kind of stuff.
She's doing her pious thing.
Hmm.
Awesome. Hope it's not COVID. Oh dear.
Oh no.
Right. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty rough actually. We'll see.
Uh-oh.
Oh god. Fucking.
You got a sore throat?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Got started for me.
Go take an LFT now.
I'll
Talk
take
yourself
one
into
again.
it. Talk yourself
Yeah.
into it. Symptoms feeling really bad.
Yeah. My work and my students would hit the fucking roof. They've got the mock exams next week. Bye.
Oh.
Anyway,
Fucking nightmare.
yeah. So it's Midwinter's Eve, and the late afternoon is approaching. Jacob returns to the temple to see Tisha and the returning Frederick, who's brought with him some of the less fortunate. Is there anything that you would like to do as together as an activity? Is there, we can say you've got some downtime, or we can, if you want to buy gifts or go somewhere, is anything you want to do in the city? There is something that you did have tickets for, I believe.
Ah, yes. Me and Smoke were
Oh,
given
yeah.
tickets to the performance at the theatre. After we helped put decorations up.
Just 2 tickets.
No, we're given tickets for the whole party.
Got a handful of tickets.
I mean, Tish should be up for the theatre, but she also knows that her sister's in town tomorrow. I think she would want to get a gift, but she'd also want to help the homeless. Maybe she give that to Freddie for a bit. What a dilemma! So many things. Yeah.
Oh, Lucas, did you just take bountiful luck?
Did? Yeah.
I hate you.
What does bountiful luck do?
It's fun.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It's just she can just transfer her lucky ability to other people, basically. No more nat ones for anyone.
As long as I'm within 30
A reaction as
I can
well.
see you and I have a reaction.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
no
there's a lot
crits
of
for me, no critical fails for you. That's the way this game's turned out. Fuck you, basically.
I just feel like this would be something that she'd take.
I mean,
Mhm.
it is. That's how her whole character works.
It's literally a feat that does nothing for her. Nothing. I
Yeah,
wasted a
no,
whole
I
feat.
get it. Allow me to be salty.
You're
Um,
you're allowed.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sorry. Where were we? I interrupted.
She was deliberating between homeless and shopping.
Theatre and shopping. Yeah, all three. Is there any chance she can run off and get a gift
Yeah.
and then come back and
Mhm.
then just do that really, really quickly?
Yeah. What gift do you want?
Oh God. Probably an item of jewelry. I reckon. The
Mhm.
sister, right? Something like a friendship bracelet.
Mm.
Ruby Rosemantle is who you want.
Ruby Romuri.
Romora, not Rosemantle.
Yeah.
Every time,
I always
Gareth.
confuse that.
Since it was
Rosemantle from?
since the NPC was
From
introduced,
Frederick.
every
Ah, yeah.
time.
Original.
I'm bad with names.
Make note.
Ruby.
It's like, do I go to my
Notes
boyfriend
help.
for jewelry? Is that what I do? No.
Yeah, he's not only the head of the Spire of Silver Candles, but he opens his
It's
long coat. He's
secret.
got watches. What do you want?
Get in.
No.
No.
Okay, make an investigation check. See if you can find
Okay.
one at this late hour on
Oh,
Midwinter's Eve.
been very busy. Damn.
11. You managed to find a friendship bracelet, but it's more one that is kind of designed like for children. It's more one that
Yes.
you might have given to each other, more of like a little souvenir in silver.
That's all right. She can pass that off as like a sentimental value. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have it. Literally costs you like 2 silver pieces. No, 1 silver piece even. It's not even that expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can deduct that.
Cool.
Anything else? Are you all going
Maybe
to the
instead of
theatre or not? Oh, go on. Sorry, Kirsty.
yeah, I would want to go to the theatre, and maybe although she could afford to buy presents, maybe she would instead write cards to her friends.
Okay.
As
Do you have like branded Temple of Mystra cards in the gift shop?
I kind of picture her making something quite simple, maybe with like a stamp
Mm-hmm.
or something like that, and some ink
Yeah, you don't
that
have
might exist as
proficiency
part
with
of.
paint supplies or anything, but I'm going to get you to make
Lol.
a performance check, low DC.
Come on, new charisma. Oh yeah.
Can I see this happening?
No. I'm going to say, Mia, you find a load of pre-made snowflake cards meant to be passed between followers of Auril, and you basically scribble out Auril and write Mistra on each one of them and
Oh
start
my
handing them
God.
out.
This whole thing is going to turn into Rhyme of the Frost Maiden, isn't it? She's going to come and get us. Okay. Well, yeah, that's how I do it. Spending my time doing that and writing meaningful messages to my pals.
All right. Do you mind if we just take a couple of minutes? I need to nip to the bathroom, and then we will start the theatre performance, if you like, if that's where you're all going.
You're going to take an
Yeah.
LFT. Is that what you're going to do? Is that secretly what you're going
I
to?
probably should do, to be fair, but I've just had a bit
Yeah,
to
you should.
drink, so I'll do that later. It's fine.
Sure.
You don't
I'll
want to
see you in a
find out
couple of
on
minutes.
camera.
No, I don't want to.
I was doing that on the Monday game, taking my LFT before
Mm.
work on Tuesday.
God.
and bend your ear, for a tale our tongues to wag. For she who'd led us towards the light, the ballad of the white stag. The chairwoman sat at her desk one day while the rain came down so hard. She made 5 white stags who brought the sunshine back, and she made them all town guards. She was crossed by a gnome who armed some bombs that would make the dogs into a pond. But the stags were too wise for the tiny gnome, and they sent him back to Gond. So come gather near and bend your ear, for a tale our tongues to wag. Thought heard we not had stayed the night, the ballad of the white stag. She roused her men at the feasting hall, and she took the stags to the city wall. With a lightning strike and a nasty fall, the chairwoman saved us all. When the nightfall came and the chanting stopped, and I nearly spilt my drink, for in the dark, with Mistress' aid, she turned the walls to pink. So come gather near and bend your ear, for a tale our tongues to wag. Thought heard we not had stayed the fight, the battle of the white stag. Now the chairwoman wields her family sword, and her
Alrighty.
brother wears.
So as Midwinter's Eve night falls, you all kind of convene amongst the busyness of the Temple of Our Lady. You can now see, you know, some of the displaced peoples who've not really managed to settle or find a home again, or maybe start up their business again following the invasion. They're now all seeking shelter with, under Mistra's guide. Tisha, Freddie, Balzac's, helping as best they can. Warkeck has already kind of come back once or twice to collect some of his tools that he left here when the temple was built. And Tisha, amongst the hooded robes of new visitors, you see familiar bright green hair on a delicate elven person that you've not seen in a long time, who just walks in looking around, kind of almost overwhelmed with how the majesty of Mistress Temple.
So am I meant to know who this is? Is it on Tisha's past? I've met them.
Yeah, it could only be one person. Who are you waiting for? Who'd you go and buy a gift for?
I've never met her though, have I? Oh, okay, yeah. Wait, why is she homeless? She shouldn't be homeless.
No, she's just amongst all the people.
Oh, okay.
Just because she stood with them doesn't mean she's also homeless.
It's like what? She's coming as a homeless person. I was trying to give the
impression that it's very busy in the temple right now.
Yeah. I hear you. It's like Jesus, it went down for her. But is it actually? I've just started to think backstory. She's doing the same thing, isn't she? She's kind of doing missionary work. I didn't, I must have
exactly
subconsciously thought that.
Orphans.
Oh my God, this is quite a big moment because she hasn't seen her since she was a kid. And that was the last thing that she said was like the nice, like she was going off and goodbye type stuff. So I don't even know how Tisha would approach this. This is big. But she's going to have to go up. She's going to have to go and emotionally take this on in some sort of don't know how to do it kind of way, and kind of just directly walk to this person that she hasn't seen for 15 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is she looking in my direction?
She doesn't notice you straight off the bat. There's a lot of people around, a lot of unfamiliar faces, and you've changed a lot. Your hair is still very distinct. but she doesn't clock you straight away. You've got the drop on her, so to speak.
Okay. So I go on over. I turn to Freddie and I gulp and I say, and then I go on over and I like tap her on the shoulder if she doesn't see me directly.
Yeah. Ha! Excuse me, I'm looking. Tishiana?
Yes? You recognize me?
It is you. Oh, and she's a bit taller than you. She's also like a bit kind of more broad than you. She's an elf still, but she's a bit more like tomboyish.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's not very finely dressed. She's got this green hair tied back in a ponytail and this kind of grey shawl draped over kind of like quite broad shoulders. She's got slightly darker skin, so she's not as pale and pure in complexion as Tisha. But they've got a very similar bone structure, both very pretty, big eyes, and that bright hair. Even though hers is green and yours is purple, like it's unmistakable. You guys look like just slightly different versions of the same person. And she grabs you around the waist and just picks you up and squeezes you really tight. Oh, it's been so long.
Tisha goes, all right, okay, put me down. I'm not a child anymore. Like, you know, you used to do this when we were kids. It's okay. I know you're a bit older than me. But oh my God, you're here. You've made it, as your letter said. I'm so happy to see you.
I'm so happy to see you too. When you sent a letter from Silvercrest, I feared the worst. But it's been nothing but bad news from this city for months. First the invasion, and then it's really struggled to get back on its feet. It's kind of notorious for like crime, and the Zentarim months ago. That's why I headed south. It's the first place I arrived when I left Inelian.
Yeah.
And go on, sorry.
Have I kept her up to date with our parents through letters?
Yeah, I'd say she pretty much knows what's been going on with you. I'm so sorry what happened with our grandparents. To be honest, I spent most of my youth just so angry at mum and dad and their nobility that I didn't think it could get any worse. But if I'd have known they'd have done those things to you, I'd have got straight back on the boat to Inelian and come and stabbed them both in the eye.
Yeah, strong. I mean, I don't know.
You see, at this point, she is laden with more than a few daggers.
My sister's fierce. And then I'm just going to eye all that and go, yeah, I mean, it wasn't great. I didn't know where you were. I didn't feel like I knew my parents were. Yeah, it wasn't a nice time. I don't pretty horrible actually thinking about it. But you weren't to know that, and I completely understand kind of why you've walked away from them, as have I now. And I've got a good setup here now, which is great. I mean, and then I'll take her over to meet Freddie.
Yeah, it certainly looks like you've found a place where you can be useful. This is maybe we're more alike than I thought. I told you about the orphanage in Bradford. He and I have been kind of converting an old vampire's manor into a place of learning and a place of sanctuary for lost people. It looks well, it doesn't look quite as good as this place yet, but it might do.
Yeah. This is a new mission, and as you can see, we're trying to help as many people that are suffering right now and follow the Mistress sort of guidance. And does Nain know Mistra? She been introduced? Did you
Yeah,
know her?
she's not religious in the sense. She's a bit of a like fervent anarchist and doesn't like the establishment or any patriarchal structures. But she,
Can't be influenced.
she appreciates the positive impact that Mistress seemed to have had on your life, even just by believing in her. Well, I'm not sure I could ever do it, sis, but it's you certainly fell on your feet. And who is that handsome young chap? Is that Freddie?
Oh, that's Freddie, who I've spoken about. Actually, before we go over, I got you a little gift. It's not worth anything really, but I just wanted you to have something from me as part of a Winterfest gift. Not seen each other for so long, and something you can keep with you, and have on your person, and remember
Oh,
me
I'm
when you're.
sorry, I only got here late this evening, and I'll be
Oh,
honest,
don't worry.
I could only get you something small, and at the same time, she produces the exact same bracelet.
Hey, we went to the same shop. Awesome.
This is so embarrassing.
And also perfect. And then we do the exchange, and I'll pop it onto my wrist and put it on hers as well.
Do you know there's someone that I'd like you to meet as well? And at that point, Nain kind of beckons somebody over. It's again someone who looks a bit kind of brisk and travel weary. Looks like they've been on the road for quite a long time. However, OG CGS members would recognize this as Leica. Whether you remember Leica or not, Nain.
Remember the
She was
name.
gonna turn back into a human. She ran away from the lighthouse. She was a vampire last time we saw her, or the spawn, or whatever
Yeah.
Jacob was.
She was a
Yeah.
thrall.
Yeah,
She was a thrall.
She was, but upon the Baron's destruction, she was no longer.
yeah. But before we could find out, she escaped. She ran away. So it was sort of an unknown.
Mm,
Yeah.
she's
blooming hell.
back.
Nice.
And she takes Tisha's hand. Sorry, not Tisha's hand. Nain's hand. You see, she's got this kind of like pink, reddish hair, kind of all cut to like different lengths. She looks like she's much more comfortable in the outdoors. But Leica and Nain seemingly reconnected when Leica returned to the southeast coast, seemingly not suffering many negative effects, or certainly no vampirism anyway. And she asked for Nain's help and sanctuary, and over the past few weeks and months, they started a relationship together. Bradford is more of the kind of older brother type, you know, person to kind of who's been involved in a lot of the building. And it seems as though Nain and Leica have taken much more to the kind of education side of things. They impart this update of you, and they don't ask for your blessing, but you can see Nain, having not seen you in a long time, Tisha, she's worried that you might judge her for this kind of relationship, or it's not something she'd ever discussed with you before.
No, and she's not been around to even know her, to be honest. But Tisha, in her usual, positive kind of attempt at kind of bringing things back to being positive again, in terms of emotions, we'll go. Lovely. Wow. Hi. Nice to meet you. Lovely to meet you. Great. Excellent. Slightly awkward as well. And accepting. And then we'll go, brilliant. Well, welcome to the family, I guess. Is that right? Is that what we say here?
Leica blushes and says, like, oh, never been to this city before, and Nain's told me so much about you. But honestly, you and this place is much more beautiful than she described.
Oh. Okay, come and meet Freddie. Come and meet my other half.
Okay. I can't role play like 3 NPCs at once, but we can say that yeah, you guys meet like Freddie, Naeem, Tisha. Yeah, you know, like 4 peas in a pod, you all start talking and find that, you know, although Leica and Naeem share kind of stronger political views, you're both glad to see happiness reflected in each other, especially on this midwinter's eve. Okay. And just by chance, you have enough tickets to take everyone to the theatre.
No way! Exactly enough?
No!
Exactly
Whoa! What's the chances?
What are the chances? All right, fuck off.
I'm just joking.
Yeah. So, but it doesn't mean you all have to go. So, who is going?
Jacob's going.
Is everyone going?
We're all going.
Yeah. Is Tilly going?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she's trying to be a part of it. She doesn't know what it is, or she probably never been in that sort of situation before, so it's
Yeah.
completely alien to her. She has other concerns, but on the other hand, she wants to fit in with this group because she's kind of linked in. So
Yeah.
she would, yes, not knowing what to expect is what I was gonna say.
So, as a group, a big group now of adventurers, heroes, and people of different positions of responsibility, you take some time out of your massively eventful day. You know, in the morning, the afternoon, you have dragons and level 20 monks, then you've met your gods, and now Tisha is even more nervous about meeting her sister than she was about meeting the god. So it's, you know, it's been a huge day for her in particular.
I know.
And you all look towards taking in a pleasant evening at the Independent Theatre. I will say, Tisha, that this is not the first time that people have been to the Independence Theatre. The first night that this party spent in Silvercrest, they went there and they witnessed an assassination.
Oh, I've heard this before.
Yeah.
Spend the night in
Twice before.
spells.
Yeah. However, you are greeted in the queue by theatre attendees. And yeah, could make this a big thing, but it's 10:15. What do I want to do?
Well, you're going to do us one. You're going to do a one-man show for us right now.
I'm feeling really rough, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking maybe I should go take a test and call it early, and we can do the.
Is it Oprah?
I'm happy to do that.
I wouldn't want to cut short what could be an epic theatrical.
I've got things that I could be doing, and it is more you know, I did kind of railroad you to go and do it because it's potentially important, but I'm just I'm worried that I won't be able to do it justice because I'm feeling a bit shit.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
But if that's okay, we can pick up at the start of the theatre performance next time. Lucy, I'm not sure. Yeah, like I say, I'm assuming you're
This is the
attending
last,
until
but I'm happy to continue. I mean, the thing is, I'm not continuing because I'm like, oh, I'm out and about with my job, but I'm not because of COVID. So it's kind of like I can keep going until the point that I can't, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Used to your job being what it is for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what,
Everyone
care homes
really
are shut
enjoys
right now,
having you
so-
along, and everybody, both individually and as a group, has said how much they just want you to stay. So I'm happy
love
for you to
you.
be in the game.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Bless you. Yeah, no, let's keep continuing until the point. Well, I'll see what I can do. You know, I'm usually off driving around care homes, but it's not possible with everything going on. So I'm good.
If it's 1 or 2 sessions every so often you'll miss, we can work around that. That's not a giant issue.
Yeah.
If it means you can continue playing, it's been really refreshing because you've got really out there ideas about stuff, and you just
It's a different perspective.
Well, do you know?
We get every time. Yeah, that's why it's out there. 'Cause I haven't planned it.
funny.
playing with newer and less experienced players gives you a fresh pair of eyes, and it stops you it shakes up everybody's routines. And even when you get more confident with the rules and things like that, like just you will have your own interpretation of how things work, and you already have had that. Even with the rules today, I gave you a little bit of what your objective was, and you really went with it, and it was really good. I'm glad that you were in the position you were in that skill game.
I just remember that time where we're in like a very difficult battle and Lucy goes like creates bonfire like something
Yes.
that was
And there's
so
smoke everywhere. That's the thing. Yeah.
that was so funny. It's just
And every time I go for lightning, whatever, and you're like, no, it's too late at that point. I'm gonna have to go with it. Yeah. And Jacob gets killed, half killed. Yeah.
it's been
Sorry.
it's been pretty
Mhm.
great. I hope you continue playing with us. It's
Yeah.
It's fun.
Mhm.
Thanks,
I would like,
guys.
cool.
I would
Well,
like
yeah,
to say
let's
that when Jacob,
continue.
after Tisha and Naeen had their reunion, when Jacob saw her, he'd probably say something quippy like, "And how's my favourite convict?" to Naeen, as a way of saying hi.
Yeah, I think she'd elbow you.
Probably sounds
In the
about right.
Yeah, she's much brash and less sweet than Tisha is. But hey ho, that's sisters for you.
That
Hi.
was a lot of fun. It's a very fun
was cool.
session. That game, the Avalon style top trumps type.
Yeah,
game.
I've got a little bit of finessing to do now. I've had a play with it, but I feel like I want to write it up, and I don't know if I could ever publish like like communing with your deity in a meeting format in D&D game. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It
Give
could
it a
work.
catchy
It could
title, it'll
work
be
for
fine.
like political scenarios as well. Doesn't have to be piety and
about-
zealousness. It could be like charitable and diplomacy and
yeah,
like
yeah.
What about adapting that to a resurrection ritual?
Oof. I mean, it could be done, couldn't it? Instead of just
Skill
passing the tests, the end result is lowering the DC over.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was quite a lot of fun.
it was also nice to not be in the heads of our main characters on the cusp of like a world-changing, super stressful combat event for like
Yeah.
3
Oh,
weeks in
God.
a row. Like,
So
Yeah.
the interesting bit to me is like what would have happened if they failed to pass the test. Like obviously we wouldn't get like the rewards, but like what ramifications would that have for?
It was unlikely
character?
to me that you would not pass any of them. So basically, it was
We
just
needed
going to
3,
be.
right? We could have
Yeah, you
only
needed
failed
3 and
1.
you got 4. I think basically what I would have just given Mia less information at the end. But now she knows about the Magister, she knows who the original Magister is, she knows what she's got to do to become the Magister, and she knows she's preordained to be the next Magister. That's 4 things, and you pass
She's
4
gonna go
tests.
kill somebody.
Yes, she does, right? I think
As a
it's
player,
Polonius.
yeah, you gotta.
know who it is.
Does anybody have any ideas? I'm not going to
Was it-
confirm or deny this.
My
The
sister.
only thing I know about Azuth is that Jacob found a load of stuff in the a
Lone
load
spells.
of writings in Lone Spell's lab talking about him, talking about the followers. So it might be that we need to read through that.
Yeah. For a minute, I was like, what if Lone Spell was the Magister? And who
thinking, what
killed
if-
Lone Spell? Jacob. So,
so
I
now you're
don't-
gonna kill Jacob.
I
Yeah.
don't think it was.
Plot twist.
I think
no, I know.
it's Frederick's father.
I wondered about that. All of the like
Fine.
once in a lifetime amount of arcane research. So we knew he was alive, but if he's recently been
He's-
murdered,
We know where he is, and you've got means to get there.
We do.
yeah.
Mhm.
Is that a moral dilemma? Is Freddy?
Well, she didn't say kill, right? She said beat in battle. That doesn't necessarily mean kill.
Well-
She did say that most Magisters fall in battle, but it did say on rare occasions that if you can get the Magister to submit to you. then you can
So
become
if
the
you've got
Magister.
like a +2 in charisma.
I mean, if it's Frederick's, if it's Frederick's dad, you could come up with some
Oh,
stuff.
I was thinking, what if it was him, but
Mhm.
he's now been murdered because it happened recently? I don't know, or he's murdered someone. It's
Is he a bad
possible.
character?
We
We've never met
met
him.
him, but from the
He
books
sort of
and
disappeared.
all that, he didn't seem bad. He was in opposition to some people that were against the God damn it, the leader Lucian, right?
Lucian.
So he was in opposition. He was in love with the. Oh God, there's so many notes.
He was in love with the wrong
Yeah.
Oh God, this is.
Freddie's dad was in love with somebody. The wrong. Where was Freddie's mum?
He was doing all this, like, he had all this
That's a
magic
good
study and he
question,
was.
That's a
Tisha,
good
that no one
question.
has really asked ever. Well, never mind.
Oh, she was
Maybe
this.
it's her.
There was this woman that suddenly arrived in his diaries and he started
Yes.
talking about it. He fell
and
very quickly for her.
Yeah.
fell in
Yeah.
love with her. They had a kid.
I will give inspiration to anyone who knows that woman's name and can type it in the chat.
Oh, for God's sake! But we can look into notes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've all got inspiration as it is anyway.
Just
but,
see, Lucy,
Yeah.
this is why a fresh pair of eyes is good, because these guys can talk each other. Some people are very good at talking people around to their way of thinking, and as people do that, avenues of exploration get thinner and more narrow, and the party moves away from certain things. I'm not saying it's intentional; it just happens. It's just natural.
Yeah.
So sometimes bringing in a fresh pair of eyes, going, "Sorry, who was that? What's going on?" is actually
Yeah.
really helpful to me as a DM.
Uh-huh. Well, it was just an obvious question because
Yes,
I'm now
I
thinking
know.
it's gonna affect
I
me.
know. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh. It's gonna. I mean, is it on your document there, Kirsty? Your mega spreadsheet of all the people you've ever met?
I don't think it's on there yet.
Because you
I
didn't
guess.
meet them. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, but
Wasn't-
I mean, it's
Wasn't Devereaux, was it?
Reggie.
Devereaux von Moxidor.
Oh, she's the other Moxidor.
No, Devereaux von Moxidor is Delsander von Moxidor's, or another Moxidor moniker. Whether it's a relation, you don't know.
when was all this? When were we doing this stuff?
This when we went into the.
Do you remember when we met Sam in the lab?
Yes, when we went into the lab and we were finding these.
It was the 17th of March
Okay.
is the date.
We were finding these books. I've got a few notes from that.
Was Coronac alive?
Sam.
Yeah.
His name was Reginald Rosemantle. 1447 year.
At dawn.
There was an Argent Knight battle mage
John's got it.
called Rosie Tin.
What is it?
John got it at dawn.
I'm looking it up. I sort out the diaries.
Do you know the full name?
Rosemantle, surely.
I mean,
Unless they weren't married.
What the hell is the
Yeah,
Song
I
of
remember.
Paradise?
Yeah.
I've got a note that says Song of Paradise, leader of Trailing Coast Clan.
Yeah.
Oh, Adorn Clorox Trivium.
There you go.
There's a wedding certificate
Nice.
in there, 1459. Yeah, and she disappeared. She came. They fell in love together. They had a kid. And apparently she just appeared out of nowhere, and like everybody loved her, and she was super talented, and we were like, I remember being
that's
really suspicious at the time. Yeah, like everyone loves her. Just she's just super good at magic, and everyone just happens to love her, and she just shows up into his life, and they fall in love immediately. Weird, sus.
Did you find?
Can you just type out her name? I'll add it to the spreadsheet.
I've put it on. I've put it on the chat.
Oh, thanks. Oh.
I'm going to say you're right to be suspicious. This is a thread that obviously, like we say, is 10 months old. So I'm going to be a little bit generous. If you want me to help you unlock this mystery.
Sure.
Please do.
That's not a real name. If you can look into that, what you will. But yeah, I want you to think about that name, and if you can come up with any clues.
Oh wait! There is a name Morxidor in those.
Yeah,
letters.
I was just about to
It's
say.
an anagram, right? There is.
Yeah.
You could make Morxidor out of
Nice.
that and something else.
Right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Von Morxidor definitely is in there.
Clorox.
Started by this one question.
Yes, Lucy, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I hate you. I don't. It's great.
CLTVIU.
So if the
Oh.
Nobody fucking questioned it. I was like, haha, Adorn Clorox Trivium. That's such a stupid name. As if anyone would believe that was a real name. They were like, oh, right, cool. Anyway, so where's Sam? I was like, ah!
You come up with a lot of names. If we were thinking that, we were probably
Yeah.
thinking, well, you've got to come up with a lot of names.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're the letters that I've got left over.
Yeah, I was just getting to that one as well. Yeah. No, why R? Oh, because just one is Morx. No, R shouldn't be left.
Clear.
Oh no, there's 3 R's in there, right?
Yeah, there's 3 R's.
Okay.
Where's my CGS shit list folder?
There was one Devereaux. That's not the no.
Devereaux and Del Sander
Yes.
are known von Morxidor names. Whether it's the same person who has 2 different monikers, or whether they're like father and son, they're both male names, Devereaux and Del Sander. So it's unlikely to be.
Yep. Wait.
very different.
No, Delphina's not gonna work out in this one.
Nope.
Is it a name that we have heard before?
Yes.
Oh.
That's my magical spreadsheet is not so magical.
Just how many names can you make out of those letters?
But names are fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Fantasy names, right? So.
I used an anagram generator to make Adorn Clorox Trivium, so.
Oh God. Okay, I'm just looking into an anagram thing. Only 8-letter word.
Reticular.
Reticular.
Reticular. Yeah.
Reticular? No.
It's not, by any chance, Ronitar.
No, it isn't Renitar.
That's what I thought I was close with that.
Is it an 8-letter word?
Yeah.
Lucretia.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Lucretia.
Lucretia. Lucretia, yeah.
Oh fuck, we didn't know
Oh
that.
God, that's an L. I was. No, never mind.
Where do you know that name from, Kirsty?
I know it from Final Fantasy VII.
Okay. I didn't ask that. No. It's not Final Fantasy reference.
We know it from all the diaries, don't we?
I'm sure I came across it. Yeah. In the journal entry in 1437, it says
Lucretia, oh, that's Broadgrove's wife.
Lucretia and Devereaux. Lucian discovered Lucretia and Devereaux.
Oh,
Was Lucian's wife that cheated on him with Devereaux von Moxidor?
and
And also apparently Reginald
But with
Roseman.
Freddie said-
And
Have you unlocked
father-
what's happened yet?
So whose father is Freddie, really?
What?
If she was
Ooh.
if she was with 3 different guys,
3
then
people.
is Freddie necessarily Reginald's son?
What a player.
Could he actually be a Moxer or a Broadgrove? Sorry, a Broadgrove or a... it's
Wait, so she came, but didn't he? I don't understand. This is a bit weird because he met her as somebody he never seen before,
this guy's self is a thing.
and he was a powerful wizard as well. But I guess maybe she
Didn't
was a vampire,
So,
right?
so start at the beginning. Lucretia and um,
Lucian.
Lucian were man and wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I think she wasn't a vampire originally, right?
No, she
Something
wasn't.
happened. Something happened. She got bit by Morxidor.
Mhm.
Devereaux.
Yeah. And she became a
Freddie's mum is a vampire.
vampire.
This is a lot of a dish to understand. Carry on. Sorry.
Can vampires even have like live kids? That's weird.
Did in Twilight.
No,
So-
you did not say that. Mention that film or series.
Just throw it out there.
So then she was obviously all evil and stuff because she was a vampire. So she had a plan to infiltrate. Is that the right word?
You'll remember that there was a plot against Lucian after
Yes.
his reach and his influence had got too far,
Yes.
and the only one to stand up for and protect Lucian and thus intern him in that coffin was Reginald Rosemantle.
Reginald.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
That's
it
right.
seems like to me.
After the war and everything kind of calming down, then
She
suddenly someone comes and whisks Rosemantle off his feet.
to get
Yeah.
the details needed to
Devereaux used her to wrap up all the loose ends so that he could lay out the environment as fruitful for his gain of power.
Yeah, when Broadgrove was out of the picture, Devereaux and the manor and his political influence grew in peacetime.
they wanted to
all-
control the most powerful mage in the land.
Mhm.
So they I don't know, changed her into the object of his desire, and they got. But what? Then she got. Then why did she have a baby? Did she like actually fell?
Because potentially because his blood, if his blood was in the child and she had control of the child, the
Hey,
child would be able to
We're going
control.
into eugenics now. What the
No,
fuck?
no, it's more
Potentially,
that
she could have
she
faked
could
the whole
control-
thing.
Or she could control all of, because her child is the son of because Freddie is the child of Reginald. He could control all Reginald's
We
things
think.
because
I
he's
think we
the
need to do. I think we need to do in intensive genetical research on Frederick right now.
I agree. I don't trust that you've got any parents that we think that we know of.
Yeah, because
Cut 'em
only Reginald and Frederick could control Sam. So
That's
that
true.
would
So there
kind
is
of
a
like be
connection there.
the
That's what
only
I was
way to
going
get the only way to get control of Sam
Well,
would
actually,
literally to
no,
be
no.
have
No, that's
Reginald's
not
child and then
That's not true.
use his
Frederick
child.
wasn't able to remember. We needed Reginald or Lucian. Frederick wasn't able to do that.
Or maybe Lucretia didn't. Lucretia. Sorry, I can't
True.
pronounce the name.
Lucretia.
Didn't know that, and wanted control of Reginald's power, lab, everything.
It would be
Sam.
a valid avenue to attempt if you're a vampire and never died.
But what happened? What happened to her after?
Yeah, where did she go? More mysteries. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you for helping me just unravel a bit more plot that was laid dormant for 10 months.
I've got a
Um,
note here that says he was seeing, I guess Reginald was seeing Lucretia von Morxidor. This is before I knew that she was married to Broadgrove. Before Devereaux von Morxidor was married to her. So they were like a thing, and then
She was called something different, right?
I'm not sure if that's I mean, just because you've written it down doesn't mean it's true. Like, it may have been just what you thought, or do you know what I mean?
Well, the first entry in the first diary talks about Lucian and Lucretia being a thing at that point.
Yeah. Lucretia.
And also, we had that loose end for quite a long time after we killed the Baron, and we knew that his wife and daughter were still out there.
and as far as we know, still are.
I think daughter,
Wife.
or am I just making up daughter?
Wife and child.
Be a girl.
Just wife and child.
Wife and child. So was
So
was Belsander Devereaux? Was the same one and the same?
we think it's possible.
So that would make his wife, aka
Delphina could be Lucretia.
Could be Lucretia, right?
Rename
yeah,
it. If you basically kill yourself off, and top up as your child and inherit all the format.
if you don't want to be outed as a vampire because you're 150 years old or whatever,
You become a different person.
Highlander.
Person.
Connor does it in Highlander.
So then their child would be technically half sister to Frederick.
Is it true that she's a girl, or could it be Freddie?
We don't know,
No,
right?
that may have just been me misremembering. I think, like Dan said, it was just we knew there was at least one child.
There was.
If only you had a portrait of the family somewhere.
Oh,
We
God.
do at the castle.
I know.
We haven't been to the castle in ages.
We need to go home.
We
Let's
really need to go and check that shit out.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, just obviously, I don't want to confirm things or. Oh, Kirsty, what's this?
That was the note
That's the note. Yeah.
that I took. And I realized, like, that was before we knew that Lucretia was Broadgrove's wife.
Yeah, I think I remember you mentioned that because I mentioned in some of the diaries that Lucretia was like pale, and you were like, "Oh, pale. Is she a vampire, or is he a vampire?" Keeping him young and seeing Lucretia from Oxidor before Devereaux was married to her. Yeah, so just because she was called Lucretia von Moxidor and that was a married title doesn't mean, obviously, she could have been seeing
Returned.
pre-turned, pre-marriage. That still could be true. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. There must have been something in there that made me think that Reginald came first. But if that's not true and we figured that out, then that's fine. I just thought I would show it.
This could make sense though, because I mean she would be a human woman, then that having a kid makes much more sense than having it with vampire, maybe.
Although I feel like our DM is being like, your notes are wrong, Kirsty. So I think my notes are wrong.
I'm not trying to. I don't want to meta. So
Well, I
don't
guess
want to confirm anything or not.
I guess the thing is, he met her first time. That's what he put in his diaries. Reginald. He met her as that weird name that actually is an anagram. Is that
Go
correct?
on. Yeah. That's the mage who turned up to this spire and became suddenly
when
amazing.
When first met her, she was using a fake name that was made up of the name Lucretia von Morxidor. So that had to come first.
Mm-hmm.
And she was hiding under a fake face as well. And maybe she used some sort of magic to entrap him. Wait. I wonder if she had one of those necklace and ring combinations. Like the one that Jacob got stolen off him.
Obviously, there was an opportunity that you didn't feel confident in taking to go to Mechanus and find Reginald.
I mean, that's what I was saying.
But that was a long time ago, and
have
who knows what's happened since then.
I remember now when we were reading it, and I was
It's
playing
like-
Red at the time, and she was like, "Who does she think she is?" She just shows up, and she's the best, like at the Spire, and she's super hot at magic, and she's super beautiful. Like she was right. She was totally sus. Everyone was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, well, it sounds kind of sus," and she was like,
Red
"Who
was
is this
fun.
woman?"
Need to get
John-
Red, the PI, back on the case.
Yeah,
Yeah, Red was hilarious fun.
yeah. I gotta find out what she's up to now.
Oh wow, well that was a fun session.
Yes. Sorry. Sorry, Lucy. That one question literally sparked 20 minutes of talking about stuff you have no idea about.
yeah.
that stuff.
That's
That
fine.
stuff.
I'm gonna have to start making notes.
We have a Google Drive where we've got lots of player stuff stored.
What?
I think Dan runs it,
Jeez.
so he could probably share the folder with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a
Alright.
lot of it will be just.
I
Like,
mean, it's good to have access. I'll probably just take it from
weird
this
stuff.
point
Got
on. But yeah.
handouts that we've had in the past, and it's got our recaps all in a document. Although I don't think the more recent ones have been put in there yet.
no.
But it was an attempt to make a sort of
Spreadsheet with
repository of
names.
everything.
You
There is one.
guys.
There is.
There is a spreadsheet with names
Yeah.
that Kirsty made.
Dedicated.
Yeah. Is the
Oh no.
No.
is the spreadsheet that you've been doing, that amazing spreadsheet of everyone ever, is that in the player folder in Google Drive?
I don't know if it is because I don't know if I knew. Oh no, it is in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Character list.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I can see it.
21, 11, 21.
So you've got a have you got a few Von Morxidors in there now?
Couple. Yeah.
I checked the
and
shit
then
list,
Lucretia
CGS
is
shit
already
list
in
are on there.
Oh, this is so useful for me as well. Thank you. When I don't have all my notes to hand.
His first name
It
was.
still needs updating, I think, but
Oh,
Oh,
what
yeah,
a,
you've
what
got-
are Vic and Sora up to? That's what I want to know.
You've
Um,
got.
yeah.
You've got a note against the Baron. What was his first name? Question mark. Was vampire? No, super date. I like him. I like those notes.
What was his first name?
Delsanda.
yeah, Delsander Von Morxidor.
Delsander. Well, I guess someone else can change that. I can't find him.
I've got like a bunch, like a huge bunch of random names in my notes. I can just add the ones that I remember what they are. Some of them I don't.
Obviously, we're going to do. Sorry, we'll do the theatre performance next. Obviously, it's a day of celebration. You guys probably have about 5 days before the
Ship.
the ship will be ready to sail to Last Hollow. I guess you have to decide: do you want to take that ship and kind of go off on like Jacob's quest? In that 5 days, do you want some downtime, or do you want to use that 5 days to find the missing Morxidors or Rose Mantles? It's a big deal. That thread in particular. I don't want to push people down any particular thread, but I don't want you to feel like either of those are very time sensitive. If you want to delay and get to Last Hollow another way, you can. If you want to go on the ship and you can maybe plane hop around from another location, or if you want to stay in Silvercrest for a bit, I don't mind. Whatever you want to do. Don't feel like there's a time pressure to any of them. I want you guys to follow up on the leads that you want to follow up on. Okay.
Our ways of traveling around have increased quite a lot as well. We can get
Yeah.
around a lot quicker now at this level.
Yeah, that's right. I think I personally think we've been waiting for something to do with Jacob's Pass for a long time. I'd be wishing to not delay that too much.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even the dragon thing wasn't even, it could have been resolved in a different way and was not necessarily going to be this big, massive, epic battle. I'm glad it was. But, if you want just some downtime before the boat, we could say that Jacob has some painting lessons with Kalain. Maybe Tisha and Naeem have some time to reconnect, and I just think obviously the Tisha is now very connected to Silvercrest, where she wasn't that necessarily before.
Mm.
So whether she, she'd obviously be welcome to come along on the journey. It's just whether she considers herself a true member of CGS, as I think the rest of the group thinks she is, or whether she feels her duties in Silvercrest are more compelling. It's up to you.
Mm.
We
She
do
just
have
kind of said that she's got a mission now at the temple as well from today's game, so she kind of has to.
Yeah,
some
but she's also a
priorities.
member of the council that can obviously delegate.
we do have a way of like sending Tisha back, right, through Mir's spell. Mir, do you have to go with her if you use Word of Recall?
I feel like I do, but I don't.
Yeah, I think you do as well.
I think I do.
So I mean, if that's the case, we could still make it work for, let's say, if Lucy needs to go for a bit, we could get Tisha back to Silvercrest, and then Tilly can get us back through a tree or something.
Oh, you got you got the tree teleport.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Sweet.
Dan hates
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I do. You're gonna have to find a specific tree.
just
Yeah.
any tree. Just I'm just gonna
Silver
go
birch.
out and just find one tree, just anywhere. It's fine. It doesn't have to be a holly tree. But I can try. I think it was gonna be one of my downtown actions anyway.
Yeah, have a tree planted.
Well, that's
This will be the teleportation tree.
in 55 years. Halflings live long, so that's fine.
Alrighty. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna go now.
No,
Hope you feel
better.
better, or it's not too bad or anything.
Yeah, fingers
Yeah.
crossed. Maybe like I've had really bad sleep with like my diabetes past 2 nights, so I was thinking I just feel run down because of that. But obviously now I've got COVID fear, so hopefully
I
it won't
hope you're
be.
gonna be okay, and I'll see you on Friday to finish off that.
Yeah, we've got bloody Cthulhu to finish finally, haven't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to all die and stuff. So
Yeah.
Well,
I
I'm
want to
temporarily.
lose some
Go
sanity
insane.
points. I generally want to.
Yeah, can't wait to go
I'm insane,
irreparably
so-
insane.
Looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
All right, dudes. Thank you so much.
I'm just updating the recap
Take care.
document with all the most recent recaps, everyone.
Wicked.
Nice one.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Cheers,
guys.
man.
Good night, all.
Cheers.
See you later.
Cheers,
Good night.
guys. Night.